or even at the finals, maybe a team's going to be bringing out a trick from their sleeves. Now, getting into the match, VG, they will be starting on attack, FlipSid on defense. The karaoke tea room will be the first site to be defended by FlipSid, and that is as we expect. It is the preferred site for most teams going into Skyscraper. Lots of love coming out in the chat from both these teams, as they do, again, they do like each other.
This is a friendly matchup. I remember seeing a tweet from Adam earlier where he thanked and wished everyone good luck from FlipSid. And it was met with many gifts of group hugs and laughs.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that these guys are scrim partners. I'm pretty sure that they do get along quite well. And again, in this matchup, I'm sure we're going to see some really playful things happen. Which, can lend itself to be great entertainment. To be honest, when teams get really serious and the pressure starts mounting, we see them tend to buckle under pressure. And I honestly feel like we saw that from Ominous in the matchup against Elevate earlier today. They definitely weren't playing up to what we expect to see from Ominous. And as such, it kind of lended itself to a less entertaining match because of just Ominous not making the plays that we're used to. And now, FlipSid versus Vertical Gaming, there's no pressure on either of these guys' shoulders, really, aside from seeding. And because of that, all of these players are going to be allowed to play however they choose and make any sort of decision, really.
I think that's a good distinction you make about Ominous and Elevate, because Elevate brings that element of pressure, that element of stress to their matches. They've been to LAN. They know what it feels like to fight for tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and Elevate, I feel like going into the Ominous matchup, going into every matchup they've ever really been in so far in this Pro League, they have been... I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's confidence, but they just do not give up, and it's fantastic to watch them play. But all the same, we're on Vertical versus FlipSid now. Let's talk about Vertical versus FlipSid, right? They have Vertical has started to establish themselves outside of the building. They're looking to try and it appears like they're trying to take control of the bottom floor in the barbecue and kitchen area before they start moving their way upstairs. They are rappelling upstairs now onto the balcony now.
Where is Eclipse going?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Eclipse... Oh, he's going to be putting himself onto that little, I guess, I don't know what to call that.
He was all the way by the kitchen window. I thought he was trying to fight Pulse. That's hot and cold inside of the kitchen. But now he's far out of town.
He's going to be denying Mint that roam back onto the north stairs, which means... Or Snake Nade's also going to be in a position to stop that. But that means that the two roamers they have downstairs are going to be cut off from their way back into the site that will directly flank the roamers. Capital bolts going up into yellow, which are going to hopefully get the player who is not in that corner. King George getting a nice pick onto Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy.
Yeah, so now we've got a 5-on-4, but still half the round to go, and VG looking like they're doing some good work here. Mint gonna pop on outside, will not be detected, but will also not spot any individual. You've got members from FlipSid who looks like they're inside a drum and back stairwell. No one's inside of A, no one's even inside of B at the moment from the defense squad. They're all playing underneath. Hot and Cold and Mint are downstairs inside of the main bar area. Snake Nate still looking from behind him. He's gonna toss out one smoker or one flashbang, and Hot is now gonna jump on outside. Zilchi picks up that kill onto Adam. Looks like we're going to see Hot and Cold nail down that headshot onto Eclipse as King George and Avian get a kill for themselves, taking out Pojo and Mint.
There are no anchors on the site, but there's a Pulse underneath looking for that C4. He will not get it as the diffuser plant does go down in the corner. King George going to be challenging onto Zilchi.
A nice wall
headshot.
Bang.
And it's all down to Hot and Cold now. He's got to take care of this Avian playing in that yellow before he pushes onto the other two attackers.
And he does not have the Capital arrows because he's a defender here, and so Avian will take away that yellow bunker, that yellow cubby, goes for the shots and gets that wall bang with bearing 9 onto Hot and Cold, finishing off. And round number 1 will go to Vertical Gaming.
That was a well-executed strategy from Vertical Gaming. They established themselves in a way that we're most familiar with coming out from this particular team, which is on the balcony to the north, which, it historically hasn't worked amazingly well for them, and they've used a Montaigne in that situation. But the difference here, what they changed up is they put 2 players in that Eclipse and that Snake Nade on the north stairs in a position to stop the rotation from the 2 roamers downstairs. So they read into the defense strat from FlipSid, understanding there are going to be heavy roamers, and they just cut them off and simply picked apart what anchors there were as they pushed their way into the site. There are actually 3 roamers, as I recall now, because the castle was on the east side of the building, and as such, there were only 2 players really for Vertical Gaming to deal with before they could execute their take.
Yeah, there was no one inside of A, inside of the tea room. Inside of the karaoke room, I don't think there was anyone either. I think you had one on the back stairs, one in drum. Those were the 2 quote-unquote closest to site.
Yeah, so an interesting hold from FlipSid, very roamer-centric. And unfortunately, I think they were relying on that pulse to get the C4 on the diffuser planter. However, because the diffuser was planted in yellow, which has an indestructible floor, that just didn't work out for them.
I was going to ask, you can plant in there? That's not like,
yes, you can
negated out of the room?
You can plant in there,
okay.
and Tabana did plant in there. Now we're going to be going on to Vertical Gaming's defense, and they are going to have a very similar lineup as far as operators go. Unfortunately, they will not have a castle, though. Instead, opting to bring the Bandit, Smoke, Pulse, Rook, and Jaeger. And we're going to see just how FlipSid choose to execute their attack here. They do also have an IQ, which is, we didn't talk about it earlier, but it is an abnormal pick. Smoke, nice legs, bro.
I was about to say, what is he smashing? But it looks like he's
opening
shotgun.
He's opening up holes above the window that leads into this small room that is adjacent to North Stairs. Or underneath North Stairs, really. Hot and cold there, or sorry, FlipSid, they will be setting themselves up on the north and west balcony, getting ready to execute their attack. IQ looking for those
I like the
cams.
IQ play from both teams, though. We saw Eclipse pick it up, and now we've got Espez Lemsquez picking up the IQ. And I think that this is some of the development that we're going to start seeing is we know Valkyrie cams are going to be important, would not necessarily on the attack or the defense this time,
not
but
in
the
this
pulse.
case. Yeah, no, I mean, IQ challenging onto the pulse is very useful. Again, there is no Valkyrie, unfortunately, for FlipSid in this instance, so not quite as useful as it could be. But the reason I feel like they are really bringing that IQ is partially because of the pulse from underneath, but also that Valkyrie on the skyscrapers outside is really hard to spot sometimes.
It looks like Hot and Cold trying to get rid of some more barbed wire because they're going to make a push on in here. You're likely going to see either Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy or Hot and Cold try to rush in and get Avian out of the way of this B bomb site. Zilchi still repelled out on the west balcony, looking to hold down, make sure there's no rotation into B. He doesn't 100% know just yet that there's going to be a smoke inside, but he's got to guess that there's someone. And so for the time being, looks like Pojo is going to try to drone out. He does spot Avian. That's a 100% guarantee. You've got Zilchi trying to hold down the rotation. Hot and Cold just needs to shoot through the wall. That is a soft wall right there. And for the time being, he's not going to go for it just yet.
You can see Avian, he is playing through that little hole onto the bottom of North Stairs, and he will get a pick onto Mint through that said hole, through the window outside on the balcony.
So right now, Avian's going to try to push off Zilchi from trying to rotate in. Going to go for the shotgun kill there onto Hot and Cold, but misses it with that pre-fire. The smoke and gas grenades are going to go out simultaneously. Right there, that's going to stop one push. 55 seconds left to go. Right underneath, Hot and Cold is likely to get this kill. Floor's going to get opened up, waiting for it. He sees him now and goes for the shots, and he gets the headshot. Now we're going to see FlipSid working their way up the north stairs. Eclipse trying to push off any more push attempts from Hot and Cold, and that is successful. A 3-on-4 now with 30 seconds left to go. You've got Adam still here on top of the A site, looking to hold down that north stairs about the top. Pojo Man, though, he's going to go for a little long-range Habana charge. That's going to allow Blackbeard Zilchi to potentially look into the window, although he's gotten off of there, and he's now over by the A window. Adam going to go for this peek, and he will be taken down by Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. Zilchi will take down Adam. You've got 2-on-2 now. Plant's going to go down as Eclipse takes down Zilchi. And now Echo's trying to come up from behind. Easy Peasy's inside of Geisha. He goes for one kill. Looks like he's going to get Pojo Man here. He's got to look to his right, and he knows Easy Peasy's going to be there. Goes for it, and he gets the shot down. What a clutch here. Vertical Gaming will take round number 2 and go up 2-0.
Some miscommunication there at the end of the round from FlipSid. Unfortunately, Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy was looking the wrong way, so probably a missed call coming out there. And that is truly unfortunate to see. And Eclipse, as such, with, again, like you said, a nice clutch to lock out the round in their favor. That really, strategically, that was very similar to what we were seeing from VG. They took control of North Stairs. They took it, and they started pushing their way in through the North Stairs, picking off the defenders as they go, establishing control over A site, and getting the diffuser plant.
Yeah, and I mean, with that, Vertical Gaming is looking kind of sparkly on this map. They seem to be doing very well at the beginning.
Vertical Gaming is a team that has been very comfortable on the Skyscraper. I feel like the Skyscraper. That sounds weird when you say it like that, but yeah, this is a map that they're very comfortable with. And FlipSid, again, they probably have some tricks up their sleeve that they're not going to be using on this particular map. And I mean, both of these teams are going to be in that situation. But and when it comes to when you're backing off of like special tricks and awesome tight angles that you use to give yourself a leg up, when you're not using those, when you're choosing to avoid them instead, then that means it comes down to, more importantly, player skill and just individual plays in that sense. And we have been seeing a lot of fantastic player skill coming out from VG in this matchup. Again, we're going to be seeing a upstairs defense from FlipSid as they were unsuccessful in their hold of this particular bomb site the first go around.
Now, with FlipSid, like you said, they did not successfully do this previously, but they have a castle. Did they have a castle last? Yes, they did have a castle last time. And we're kind of seeing the same setup that we saw from VG on the defense, but instead of not bringing the castle, they are bringing the castle, which is going to prevent some of that entry, some of that quick entry into the bomb sites. Now, looking here at VG, they are looking to set up around that north and south balconies as they did previously. You've got Adam and Avian here on west. Mint already inside of Geisha. I want to say Avian and Mint are going to go head-to-head here, work on their way, trying to open up Geisha wall.
I mean, it's likely that that is going to happen. However, Geisha has been neglected by a lot of teams as of late, not being seen as nearly as important as it used to be in the past. I feel like it's not super necessary to be taken.
You know, Adam will move on forward and spot hot and cold. He's going to go for the shots. He's got two people to go for. He's going to get them both down.
King George.
King George, however, he gets taken out from above, so he does have two individuals down. Pojo Man going to try to pick him up. He's going to call that out to Adam to hop on in, but Adam feeling very cautious. What work was done by King George will no longer be effect as we have Pojo Man picking up both of the down teammates. Looks though Eclipse goes in. He's going to get pelleted with many bullets here. He's down to about 5 health as he rotates into the barbecue lounge. And you've got Easy Peasy taking down Snake Nade. What looked like was going to be a vertical game round will now be going into the hands of FlipSid in a 5-on-2.
Oh, the timing, Avian. That is so unfortunate. So on our screen, we saw him clear as day looking at that smoke as you come at the screens, but I found that spectator mode is about about a second behind, so every action that they take is you know, again, delayed by just a second. So unfortunately, he did not see that smoke as he came off of that angle. And because of that, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered in the end. It was a 5 versus 1.
It's a flawless round there by FlipSid.
So it was a nice try, yeah. Like you said, it was going in the favor of VG when King George got those 2 downs, but unfortunately because VG was unable to secure those 2 kills, I mean, FlipSid, they picked him up, they traded it back, and it started going in their favor, cascaded into their favor in terms of kills. Not much strategy being executed there from VG. They were setting themselves up in a similar sense, you know, trying to position themselves on the balcony and take care of the roamers, but nothing really came of it. So we are going to be seeing FlipSid. They're going to be going on to their basement. Well, I say basement. They're going to be going on to their kitchen barbecue defense now.
Yeah, and one of the things that we saw there from VG, which I don't necessarily know how well it would play out. I mean, it did up until the very end where King George died, but for the most part, bringing Glaz into a close quarter fight like that seemed a little odd, especially trying to go up against the roamers when you're more of a long-ranged operator.
Well, technically you are a long-range operator, sure, but in reality you're just a guy with a really powerful freaking gun, and you can see people no matter what because they have a bright yellow outline. I mean, short-range, long-range, potato, it doesn't really matter when you're fighting with a Glaz.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, no, he just wins engagements. That's what he's good at. There weren't any smokes used, however, from him seemingly in that engagement. He just kind of vaulted in dry. But he made it work technically in his favor. I mean, the work that Team George did there, you can't really... I mean, it was good. It was good work that he did. Unfortunately, again, he just couldn't secure the kills. And I feel like that might be what you were talking about. That might be attributed to the fact that he was not using an automatic weapon. If he was using an automatic weapon with 30 bullets in the magazine, he might have been able to actually put that to secure both those kills. But because he had to reload and then got picked off by the bandit, you know.
And one of the things that I really like about this map in general is the rappel that we see. A lot of teams will put a Blackbeard, a Glass, whoever it may be, rappelling off the balconies, where a lot of other maps, that's seen as a very vulnerable position. And here, we see a lot of teams making it work for them.
Well, as an attacking squad, when you're going into this particular map, I mean, since it's all, the sites are always on the west side of the building, you have to deal with the west side balconies, right? So what a lot of these teams do is they focus on actually securing those balconies, securing those runouts with claymores, with somebody watching them hard. I mean, whatever the case be, the diffuser has been planted.
5-on-5 plant. This is what FlipSid has been known to do. This is probably their 3rd time this season going on a 5-on-5 plant.
And that all comes down to the fact that there was nobody playing in the site from VG, and now they're going to start going for the retake, and they're going to get picked off one by one by the FlipSid lineup. Eclipse does get a trade back onto Mint, though, to keep them at least somewhat in the match, but with only half of the diffuser left, there's not much time.
Yeah, and I mean, there are only 2 defenders left. This is going to be, looks like King George, last man alive, and he's going to go get 1 kill as Eclipse gets 1, and Pojerman will finish off King George as he hops on out the window, and that's going to be FlipSid, turning what was a 5-on-5 diffuser plant into a victory round for them.
Yeah, and now, again, a 2-0 lead turning into a 2-2 match, or sorry, not match, but, well, I guess tie coming from FlipSid. I mean, that was a really good turnaround from them. Surprising, to say the least, that VG did not apply any pressure whatsoever to the barbecue kitchen hold. However, I do feel like VG's just kind of playing in whatever sort of state. We talked about this earlier. They don't really mind if they can't take it home here.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that FlipSid has been known to do and does very well.
Just walking into the site.
Yeah, they don't just drone out the roamers, but they also drone out the bomb sites. And they realize, okay, we have a roamer outside, we have a roamer inside, we have got these people all around the map, and they can visualize where they're going to flank from if they can get inside, get that plant down, and they did very well.
Yeah, and what they do is then they establish lines of sight onto the areas, like you said, talking about coming back into the site. They establish lines of sight onto where they can come back and start their retake into, for example, the A-bomb site in this case. And they just wait as their teammate plants the diffuser. If one of the defenders get an inkling that diffuser is being planted, they'll start going for the retake and get picked off in the process. And we saw just that happen, in this case, post diffuser plant, but sometimes it will happen during the diffuser plant. FlipSid choosing to open up the A-bomb site wall to give them, to make that, what just happened to them, not possible.
Yep.
Some lulls going on between Easy Peasy and Hot and Cold. This is strategic lulling, advanced drop shotting going on over there.
What they're doing right now is just stretching their muscles.
Yeah.
They know that one's a 3-speed up, one's a 1-speed up. They're just trying to equally become 2-2.
Yeah, so they're transferring energy between each other, and if they are successful, you will see a 3-speed rook. That's what they're trying to do, basically.
This is the magic juju that's about to happen.
Could you guys imagine, though? Just imagine a 3-speed, 3-armor rook, just for a second.
I think, isn't that what Ash is?
Well, she's on attack. It doesn't count. Right?
True.
All right, so Eclipse going to be moving into the upstairs bomb site here.
Oh, Zilchi's going to pick up the first kill of the round.
Yeah, that was. Well, that's a nice angle from Zilchi.
Yep.
Expecting Eclipse to try and go for that quick roam clear. And now, FlipSid, man advantage on defense. They also have, they have control advantage as well. Ooh, nice melee.
Now you've got Zilchi, who is inside of the terrace, having fire down come his way here from Adam. He's going to go for the shots, but Zilchi gets another shot there with that reflex side on the ump, and that's a very good kill to turn it into a 5-on-3, still with 2/3 of the round left to go.
Using the reflex, huh? That's you don't see that every day in Pro League, to be real with you. It's mostly holographic and ACOG, so it's cool to see that he's trying to mix it up with those scopes. 3 versus 5 now, 1 minute 40 seconds on the clock. They still have plenty of time and likely plenty of resources to make this work for them. However, they're going to have to contest with 5 defensive operators, and it's looking pretty difficult for them right now. Avian trying to get on top of the railing for whatever reason.
Is Ash's gun flickering in the bottom right-hand corner right there?
Yeah,
yes, it
is. Zilchi gets another kill onto King George through the wall onto the glass. I think he was playing outside on the balcony. Yeah, he was on the balcony.
So Zilchi has a 3K at the moment and only 2 attackers left to go, which is those
4K.
Snake Nade. Well, there's the 4K.
Kill the ace.
He still has 70, 80 health left to go. He's going to go for the last kill into Avian.
No.
Mint, just die already and let him take the ace.
He's mad about it.
He's so upset about that. The frustration will carry on to the next round, and I feel we're going to have a 3-on-3.
You can hear Mint saying, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. It's instincts, man. I can't help myself.
Yeah.
And Zilchi's being all, dude, brah, dude.
I heard him laughing.
Yeah. You can hear the laughter from here, even though like we're not at LAN or anything like that. But we can hear it through their team speak, even though we're not in there.
Telekinesis.
Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's going on right now. We're so vibed. We're in touch and all that nonsense. I don't know. Karaoke tea room coming out from VG. And now they have lost 3 rounds in a row against FlipSid, who have done a very good job of attacking and defending so far on this Skyscraper. VG, they were looking strong in the first 2 rounds, but they've been faltering as of late.
They have. I mean, FlipSid was down 2-0. They've come back, won the last 3 rounds. I don't think the Rook Pulse juggling worked out for them. I mean, actually, no, the Castle did all the work there.
Yeah, that was the Castle from FlipSid who did get
They passed the energy over to Zilchi without intending.
Yeah, Zilchi stealing all the energy. That's what's happening. He's a vampire. I don't know.
Jesus,
Crazy.
Zilchi, come on.
Crazy nonsense.
But no, we are going to get underway with round number 6. And we're going to have that top 4 bomb site inside of Tea Room and Karaoke chosen yet again here from VG. Still no castle pick, though.
Yeah, to each their own. You know, if you don't need a castle to hold the site, you don't need a castle to hold the site. They've had somewhat good luck losing 1 round upstairs, winning 1 round upstairs on their defense, I believe. And they just, you know, they need to put tilt it into their favor here. Okay, let me see. Last time they lost this, it was mostly down to the roamer game, if I recall correctly. They lost a bunch of players downstairs, and then once FlipSid started pushing into the site, there wasn't really much to contend with them. So going into this particular round, will VG have that same exact issue, or are they going to be able to maintain their dominance on the anchor? They don't have many roamers. Seemingly, I think there's 1 in the east building right now, and maybe 1 going downstairs as we speak. However, for the most part, VG is anchoring on the site. Pojo Man and the Blackbeard and Zilchi are trying to open up lines of sight into the A bomb site through the B window.
Now, what we got Pojo Man here, he's on the west balcony working his way over. It looks as though we've got Mint staring him down in the face as Pojo is now going to finish droning this out to allow Hot and Cold to potentially go in for a quick rush. But he's got to get rid of that barbed wire first. You still have Avian tucked around inside of the B site. That is the Karaoke room. Last time Zilchi and Avian had it out for each other. Hot and Cold was also coming up from those north stairs to, again, try to pinch Avian, and ultimately he did get that kill from below onto him.
So it's worth talking about the fact that neither of these teams once throughout this entire matchup have challenged the Geisha room. I mean, they've challenged them, right? But they haven't actually attempted to push in and take Geisha, really. Neither of them giving, well, seemingly any amount of a damn. And instead,
yeah, it doesn't seem like their priority seems to be taking over Geisha. It does not seem like that's the case.
Yeah, they're just opting to go for the other bomb sites instead, choosing to attack into A on the upstairs, choosing to attack into what I believe is A on the downstairs in the kitchen barbecue. And they're just boycotting Geisha, really. And a lot of teams have been doing that in the meta right now. Adam getting a nice kill onto Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. That was impressive with that holographic, very tight angle to win.
Yeah, and I mean, they almost had the spot where they could just tuck themselves into the doorway there as long as they get rid of Avian. But Avian's still inside of the B site. So if they get that out, they can go in and try to plant. Looks for him, and he taps his hand. He's going to break off 9 fingers and then finish him off with the shots, and Adam will go down by Hot and Cold inside of the terrace.
Adam got away from that engagement, but then chose to re-peek it. That means Eclipse is going to be seen by Hotten's drone there. Going to jump off that. Oh,
Hot and Cold with another pixel peek and takes down Eclipse. 4 on 2 at the moment. Snake will go down. He's down but not out. And we've got Avian, last man alive. He's inside of B. And we're going to have Avian now rushing on over. He doesn't spot Pojo there. And actually goes down. Going to go for the shots on Zilchi. Zilchi's like, bye-bye. And there it is. That's going to be round number 6 going into the hands of FlipSid 4-2 at the moment.
That was a nice try by the Smoke to retake that and put it into their favor. Unfortunately, Blackbeard, he has this thing. It's called a shield, and what it does is it goes in front of his face, and it stops headshots from happening, and they're very tilting, and I'm sure that Smoke is real tilted right now.
Yes, but this is Season 5.
Yeah.
This is Season 5 Blackbeard, not Season 2 Blackbeard.
Oh, God. You guys remember?
Season 2 Blackbeard had one shield. So currently Blackbeard has 2 shields.
Right.
Each shield is 60 hit points. When Blackbeard first came out,
800 HP?
it was 800. It was 8 players in front of his face with 1 shield.
Just think about that for a second, guys. That's what it used to be, and he was 100% pick rate. I think he was at least a 90% pick rate. He was always coming out. But yeah, no, he's better, sure. But going up against an SMG-11,
he's still very powerful.
Yeah, he's still very powerful. Going up against an SMG-11, you have almost no chance. I like the way that FlipSid, they have opted to. This is the team that goes to the other bomb sites. This FlipSid are the pioneers of other bomb sites. We've seen it on Clubhouse in their cash room defense, and now we're seeing it on Skyscraper in their second floor east side defense. I honestly have trophy room. I guess it's called trophy room. We just don't see it picked enough to really.
I call it Samurai and Exhibition. I don't know if that's the correct.
You can call it trophy room. I mean, whatever you want to call it, man. But it is what it is. They are going to the east side upstairs defense, and I like the way they have that castle barricade in that doorway to the north side of the room, and then an impact grenade on the far left. That's going to mean that the defenders themselves are going to be able to play in that hallway without being exposed, no matter where the attacking squad comes from. I like that.
I like that from Pojo, man. He's going to be opening up most of that wall there. It's going to be a nice run out. They're putting down a lot of barbed wire, which allows the defenders to hop on out when they hear it. But for right now, They're doing a fantastic job holding down the site.
They also have a very heavy defensive lineup. No Jaeger, no Bandit, no only 1 3-speed in that Pulse, and then 3 armors. Now that's not what we see a whole lot of going into this. I mean, any Pro League season so far.
Yeah, the majority. I mean, you're typically always guaranteed a Jaeger. You're most of the time guaranteed a Bandit.
Yeah,
Pulse is on and off, so you're looking for most a speed-oriented defensive squad. But these guys are just hunkered down.
Right. We will have Hot and Cold roaming, and Zilchi also roaming on the far west
pre-fire here.
side
Hot
of
and
the
Cold
building.
going for the shots. He's just going to tap the toes of King George.
Snake Nate is aware of that now, and he's going to be holding that angle, waiting. But the Hot and Cold might get the pre-fire with his pulse sensor in this engagement.
He's waiting for Snake to stand still, but Snake's not going to give him that opportunity. Now he's going to try to come towards the front doors and try to wallbang Snake, but instead Hot and Cold will get the shots down onto him, finishing him off nice and easily. You've got a 4-on-5 now with still half the round to go. Easy Peasy still waiting for someone to come by that southwest balcony. Smokes are going to come out. Grenades have been thrown out. King George will take down Pojo Man as Adam gets Easy Peasy. It's a 3-on-4 now. You've got Mint and Hot and Cold, last 2 alive. Mint's going to be on site as Hot and Cold is underneath. Actually, we don't have Mint on site. He's been taken out by a Claymore by Avian. So Hot and Cold, last man alive. All he's doing right now is just waiting for the plant to go down, and we will see Avian get blown up from underneath.
Actually,
it just has to happen right there. He's going to go.
He's on a table.
Oh, he is on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so close. It looked just like he was going to die by it, but instead, there he goes, trying to crawl through the door, and Eclipse is there.
Yeah. Nice plant on the table and nice crossfires established by VG, opening up those angles onto the players on the flip side in the sites themselves and just picking them apart one by one. A good round and execute, but we are still on match point in favor of FlipSid. So now, all FlipSid have to do is win this attack onto the karaoke tea room, and they have had good success going into this particular site so far in this match. I think they are 2-1, 2 in their favor on this particular bomb site from VG.
Now, I think this might be one of the first times, maybe we saw it previously, one of the first times we have not seen a Hibana or a Thermite. Like, they're bringing no reinforced wall breaching potential.
They're bringing, wait for it, Zilch breaching potential. I couldn't help myself. But yeah, no, FlipSid choosing to instead go for a kill potential lineup. And, I mean, sure. No, why not? I mean, we're going into, we talked about earlier how these teams are boycotting Geisha. They're pretty much avoiding it outright. They're not choosing not to attack it at all. And other than Geisha, there's not a lot of walls that you need to breach going into this particular attack, so why not bring a Hibana or a Thermite?
And I mean, they seem to have been pushing in from that north balcony, from the west balcony and the window on B. Like you said, there is no need for it.
Yeah.
What they reinforce is actually going to help the attackers when it comes to making that final engagement.
Yeah, and really, I guess the only wall that you could really think to open up is that wall you could see on the north side of the B bomb site there. Maybe that to get rid of whomever is playing above the north stairs, that being Avian in this situation. Maybe, but at the same time, nobody does that. It might be an interesting thing to see in the future, but as it stands, it's not seen as necessary. And I mean, it's so easy for Avian to dodge that. He just moves a little bit deeper into the site, and he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. FlipSid establishing themselves onto the north balcony, like you were talking about earlier, the west balcony, starting to look for the defending operators and open up those angles onto the sites themselves to try and get those picks. Now, they have historically been contending. Sorry, no, I'm thinking of the wrong team. FlipSid haven't been worrying about the east building at all because VG has, well, they haven't had many roamers in the east building. The farthest they've been going away from the site itself is that drum room where we see Eclipse as it stands now.
Now, Adam's role right here, he's been playing inside of that main back stairwell for every round that they've been trying to hold up here, and Hot and Cold picked that off last time from Terrace. Now, right now, Mint's moving on over around Geisha window. He's just going to place a Claymore down, make sure King George can't hop out. And now he's going to just stay on that west balcony and try to help out his team a bit.
So nothing really big, no big differences in this attack coming out from FlipSid. The Blackbeard's repelling outside of B window. Everybody else is setting up around the northern balcony to push themselves into A. Mint looks like he's going to challenge the roamers, and that's the extent of it. Now we're going to see FlipSid. They're going to take control of these north stairs, and again, a very oh, look at that. Avian's going to be staring at these north stairs with his wrist.
Yeah, I want to say that his wrist is a little...
Oh, look, a gun.
A little twisted.
What happened? I don't know, magic?
All right, but no, underneath of him is going to be Mint, who's on those north stairs, as well as Hot and Cold. They are going to try to push him down and off the site. He's opened up the floor for them. So all it is just a matter of, okay, can we get the shot? Can we bait him out so he's not looking at us? but he can't engage himself all the way down those stairs because there is Snake Nade underneath with the pulse sensor.
Hot and Cold's going to drone out Avian. He already knew where he was playing, but now he has a better idea. As he tries to peek onto him, though, he's going to get picked out by Adam playing in that hallway.
Now we've got 50 seconds left to go. A 4-on-5 at the moment. You still have Easy Peasy and Zilchi out on this northeast balcony. However, the C4 from Snake gets tossed on out, and Easy Peasy will fall. And now it's a 5-on-3. You've got Mint here by the first floor west balcony. And Zilchi still at the doorway here. Looks as though Pojoman trying to gas his way forward, and he will not push in just yet. Still looking for the shots, but it's King George actually gets it. He gets skedaddled out of there, and he's going to move on into the Geisha room for the last 20 seconds. Adam still trying to pre-fire. This is not going well for FlipSid. They're going to have to make a quick rush here. Pre-fires might happen, but Pojoman still very hesitant, and he will fall with Diffuser on those north stairs. He looks as though Adam gets Zilchi down as well. Mint's going to go get Snake, and then will fall to King George.
Good defense from VG, and that really just came down to FlipSid setting themselves up in a similar situation that they have previously in these attacks. But VG, in this situation, they did not expose themselves to the angles and allow themselves to get picked off by FlipSid. In this instance, you saw yeah, it was Adam. Wait, was it Adam or Avian? No, it was Avian. It was Avian on the smoke playing in B. You saw him. He stayed alive throughout the extent of the round by not peeking down into the lower north stairs. And in the contrast, FlipSid chose not to peek up in through that hole this time. So because the defenders weren't getting picked off, I mean, there wasn't really much to be said about that round other than VG waited patiently.
Yeah. So Avian's job right there, like you said, he was just playing, he's trying to hold down both sides, basically, him and Adam. Underneath was a pulse, and that was Snake Nade. He was making sure that they couldn't be right underneath of Avian. Even though Avian had the floor opened up, it was a Snake that was preventing Hot and Cold from going to the bottom of those stairs.
Right. Yep, no, the roamer game coming out from VG did help them out a lot there, and a distinct lack of roamer hunting coming out from FlipSid on the flip side, to take care of that pulse, for example, is again what stalled out that round. And now we're going into FlipSid's upstairs defense. We are in overtime now, 4-4. And FlipSid, they've had pretty good luck going into this particular bomb site, so see if they can continue that trend and put themselves back into the lead. They did, I think it was a 3-2, was it 4-2 lead that they blew?
It was a 2-0, VG was up, then it was 4-2 FlipSid. So now it's 4-4, we're here in the first round of overtime.
Will we see another shift in momentum in favor of FlipSid this time? Who knows?
I think one of the things to point out again for the viewers that are just joining in, this is the second series of the evening. This is map number 1. This is between FlipSid and Vertical Gaming, and this match is simply deciding the Seat 1 and Seat 2 for the LAN event. Both of these teams are already guaranteed to go to LAN. Elevate won that third spot previously this evening, and here we are trying to decide who's first and who's second.
And as such, I mean, both these teams, again, they're comfortable with each other, they like each other, and the stakes are not, elimination. You're not going to be getting knocked out no matter what here. So they're both, kind of just taking this as it is and seeing what happens and not showing any of the tricks that they're holding up their sleeves to try and give themselves an advantage and more options going into the LAN event itself. However, 2 minutes now on the clock. Neither teams have had a player picked off as of yet, and the roamer game from FlipSid is still pretty much untouched from VG, similar to what we were seeing earlier. Neither of these teams seemed to know what to do when they were challenging those roamers, instead opting to try and put themselves on the north side of the balcony to avoid roamers outright.
Yeah, now Snake Nade did drone out Easy Peasy inside of the yellow cubby. He saw him on the left side, but I think Easy Peasy swept on over to the right. But Snake's opportunity, his job is going to be to throw in those fire arrows. And it looks as though Zilchi will be taken down by Adam as he rotates through Terrace. Easy Peasy going to take down Snake, though, in that trade. Looks like those fire arrows didn't do the damage that he needed them to.
It's really difficult to hit that fire arrow through those grates in yellow. Because of that, I'm guessing he missed and unfortunately was, like you said, picked off by Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy, putting the man count back into an even. But unfortunately for the attacking squad, advantage defenders, given there's only a minute left on the clock, and the attackers have as I say that, Pojoman, a pick onto Adam, slanting it even more in favor of the defenders.
And there's 55 seconds left. First gas grenade is going to get tossed out. I'm sorry, second gas grenade is going to get tossed out. That's going to allow Avian to force his hand over there and go into... Oh, it's like Easy Peasy just trying to stay away from King George for the moment.
What happened? What happened?
He's just waiting right here underneath, hot and cold, waiting for that shot. It looks as though Eclipse is going to go up the stairs instead. All he's got to do is get that perfect timing for the C4 placement. He doesn't get it, and it looks as though this 3-on-4 is going to stay that way for the time being. Hot and cold's moved on over to the bar. Eclipse is going to try to challenge that, but it looks like easy peasy. Finally goes down by King George, and Eclipse moving on forward into the site. Now Mint is taking down Eclipse as Avian and Eclipse each take down Pojo and Mint in return. Now it's a 1-on-2. However, King George drops to the gas of Pojo Man. A 1-on-1. Avian's last man alive. Hot and cold still looking for it. There's 10 seconds left to go. All Avian has to do is get this plant down, and it's going to be in his favor. But Hot and Cold knows it's going to be inside of the yellow cubby.
Oh, no!
He doesn't go for it. He went for the bait, and it didn't last. So Hot and Cold's going to rush on in. He's going to move on over. The stand-up is going to happen, and it's going to be FlipSid winning this round from the bait. Pros don't fake, Avian.
Pros don't fake, and they don't die to smokes long after the smoke has died. Oh, that was... I don't know what happened there, but King... I guess he walked into... I don't know what happened. What happened? I was like, oh my gosh, Vertical Gaming. They cleared out the site. That was fantastic. Look at that, the massacre, and then a fake, and then a dying to the smoke though. Oh man,
it was there. It was grasping
hard.
it.
That was hard to watch, man. That's unfortunate to see, but now FlipSid, they're going to be putting themselves on overtime match point, 5-4 in their favor, and they're going to be going into a upstairs defense coming out from Vertical Gaming.
So this is round number 2 in overtime.
Mm-hmm. So if FlipSid win this, we're going to be seeing the second map right off the bat. If Vertical win this, then we are going to be seeing Vertical given a second chance going into attack, but they will be attacking the downstairs bomb site unless FlipSid choose to go over to Trophy again. Trophy didn't work out so well for FlipSid though, so... No.
No, but again, so this is the first map. Our second map of the evening for these two teams will be Clubhouse. Third map is Kafe. And so with that... regardless, we're going to see Clubhouse. Whether or not we're going to see Kafe is still yet to be determined.
You know, to be honest, I'm interested to see Kafe, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to happen. I think these teams are. I don't think it's going to happen. I think whomever takes this first map is going to carry that momentum over to the second one.
Mm-hmm. So taking a look over here, we are beginning into the action phase of round number 2 in overtime. VG still trying to set up some defensive locations here. Avian going to play his exact same role. Is FlipSid going to get him out of that spot? He's been in there each and every time. He's played a vital role to making sure that the attackers can't easily take onto the bomb sites.
So last time you talked about earlier, Adam not getting hit, unfortunately, from Pojo Man playing with that glass on the B window. But the last time we saw, pretty much most of the time we're seeing this particular bomb site defended is the team, FlipSid, are struggling with dealing with those roamers, and as a result, they're struggling with actually pushing in from the north side, getting picked off by the anchors because they can't apply the vertical pressure from underneath because of the roamers. So it's a nice tag team effort coming out from VG. And we're going to still wonder, I'm curious to see if FlipSid, Eclipse with some aggressive peeking is going to get droned out and picked off by Hot and Cold, putting the man advantage squarely in FlipSid's favor. They still have 2 minutes to execute this attack and plenty of drones and utility going into it. Yet again, Geisha being ignored.
Yeah, it looks as though Hot and Cold has decided, you know what? I've taken down one. We're going to push into Terrace, move on over to Drum, and just continue our momentum up behind Adam. Now, last time Hot and Cold was here, he did pick off Adam, and then he went on to then pick off Eclipse, I believe, inside of the drum room.
ACOG this time. He was using a holographic, if I recall correctly.
He was.
Last time he was playing this angle. Nice switch up. I think it's right call when he's playing these tight angles. Zilchi's going to be peeking onto him, though. He has a Blackbeard shield.
Gets one shot, and you can see the crack on the top of the shield there.
Yeah.
Zilchi has managed now to take on over the drum room, so that's going to allow Hot and Cold to push on in. Adam is being forced down the stairs. He cannot get into the hallway and cover the angle that will top the north stairs of there anymore. So Pojo Man's going to be able to move in and possibly go for Avian now.
Adam's still playing in that hallway. Very dangerous position to be holding, but he's making it work for his team. 1 minute on the clock, and these attackers are now being pressured by time.
So Adam doing a good job of dodging those flashbangs, and Zilchi's right now still trying to fight with that same head shield. Adam, however, does take down Mint from below, and that again, he's going to look like he gets easy peasy, and you've got Pojo Man taking down King George and Snake Nade. Now Hot and Cold will take down Adam, and he's going to be able to pick up easy before he gets taken out. Last man alive is going to be Avian, and 35 seconds left on the board. A 4-on-1. This is FlipSid's map. We are going to go into Clubhouse right after this.
Are you sure about that? He does have 30 seconds on the clock.
It
full
does
HP,
have 30 seconds.
1 smoke grenade, and an SMG-11. This is looking like it could go into Avian's favor if he plays it right.
Maybe I spoke too soon. And he's actually going to fall. Zilchi won't get picked up in time.
There's no time for a reset.
That's also not the
seconds.
diffuser. They could actually get this. Avian, just hold down inside of the yellow cubby, and he's going to try to do it. Don't poke your head up. He's going to do it.
Avian.
Hot and Cold's coming from the left side. Bolts will go flying, and Hot and Cold gets the kill, and this will go to FlipSid.
So all Avian had to do was wait patiently, but unfortunately he didn't know that. There was no way he could have, and because of that, gets peeked on aggressively from the Ash as he peeks his head up and gives away his exact position.
There are times where you just draw a blank on how much time is left on the scoreboard.
Right.
And you're just like, hey guys, pick me up, I'm gonna fall off the roof.
Yeah.
And before your team can even say, no! You're just like, bye guys, and I think that's what happened there with Zilchi.
I think you're exactly right. He wasn't paying attention to the clock, but we will be seeing a 6-4 victory in favor of FlipSid. Going on to that first map in Skyscraper, we'll be seeing Clubhouse, I believe it is.
Yes, Clubhouse is the second map. Kafe is gonna be the third if we get to it. We are going to get underway here momentarily with it, but let's take a look at some of the highlights. That is the first attempt at VG holding this top floor, and that was Hot and Cold getting Avian down. The next 2 rounds, Avian successfully stayed inside of that site. Now there's the double kill by King George, and as he tries to rotate out of the smoke grenade, he will get picked off.
Feels bad about that, about those double downs. That was a nice shot from Zilchi, and a 4K actually from him on that round. We didn't get. Here's the second one coming out from him.
There's that holoscope you were talking about, Adam having it on earlier. He ended up having the ACOG. This is that position we were talking about, Hot and Cold.
I think that engagement he just had with Hot and Cold was why he switched to ACOG. Makes a lot of sense. There's the Blackbeard shield crushing the dreams of that smoke. That must feel bad. A good round by VG to defend that upper store. I don't know what we're talking about the highlights. We saw, oh no, Pojoman. No, King George.
He dodged it.
Why
Why
did you highlight this production? Why are you so mean to King? What did he do to you?
That was a good shot there by Hot and Cold. He must have droned him out and gone for the pre-fire. Now Adam did down easy peasy there, but didn't get the final kill.
That's unfortunate.
He got picked on off.
We're going to be going into Clubhouse like we talked about earlier. FlipSid, we're going to be starting on offense, and we're going to be seeing, I think so. They're doing things. I think it's going to be
they're just waiting to pick the correct sides. So with that, we are moving on to Clubhouse. Clubhouse is one of those maps that we have the most. We'll say that the most. We used to have the most variety on. Now we don't.
What, Clubhouse?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. You think we had variety on?
There used to be a whole bunch of different types of pushes from main stairs, moto, from blue hall, from garage, or from cave tunnel. There were all these different pushes.
All right.
And now I don't know.
Okay, well, most of the teams, on Clubhouse, most of the teams, that what they're doing is they're opting to go for a construction push and, pushing in with the glass, coming in construction tunnel, laying down those smokes, denying the back end of Armory, while the rest of their team opens up above Kitchen and starts to apply pressure into the back end, well, I guess the front end of Armory. However, it's been getting mixed up quite a lot in as it stands right now.
Yep. So we are getting underway with round number 1. They're just finishing up, picking up their operators. And here we are. FlipSid's going to start on attack as VG starts on defense. Now, as we take a look here, we are going to see a fuse come on out of the woodworks here for the beginning of round number 1. That is going to be Mint. Zilchi again playing that glass, which you've seen before, but keeping an eye here on VG. Nothing too unique coming out except for the mute, which is not a common pick.
So the mute is likely to be seen used. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be doing here, but if I were to guess, I would say they're probably going to use him in the construction tunnel to try and deny that thermite, or that, in this case, Hibana opening up the construction tunnel itself. If they have a shield, they can outright deny it, given that... but they also don't have a Jaeger, so that's not going to happen. I'm sorry, I spoke too soon. I'm not sure. I guess they're just using the mute to deny, deny drone coverage from the attacking lineup. I get that. I understand that. That makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, a lot of these positions on this basement hold are very predictable. So I'm curious to see if it's going to be working in their advantage.
So with that, I mean, like you said, we talked about this many times. Every single time that Clubhouse comes on to the mix here into the map pool, we always see a 5-man onsite defense, except for the one time we saw, I think it was FlipSid or Ominous tried having like a 4-man offsite roam, and it just went horribly wrong for them.
It did not work. I mean, I think it was... No.
I want to say it was Ominous and FlipSid. Right?
Oh gosh, it was... No. I think it was a European team. Actually.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
It was the guys who played against Sisu.
G-Bots. G-Bots tried it.
It was G-Bots.
G-Bots went for the aggressive try against Sisu on it. That's right. That was last Thursday.
G-Bots had some fantastic setups going into this particular map, and some nice choices that they. I mean, it was different. I'll say different. Maybe not fantastic. It didn't work for them, but it was different for sure. And it was cool to watch them try and have their own interpretation of that take. What we were seeing here from FlipSid is the same old, same old.
A few shield is something odd that we don't necessarily see too much of.
Yeah, I think they're just messing around with it, having some fun. They're going to be opening up this armory wall, and I'm guessing we're going to see a straight pressure rush into the armory itself, which makes a lot of sense.
Especially when you leave that wall open.
Yeah, you leaving that wall unreinforced is kind of interesting move from VG. A C4 coming out onto easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's going to be in kitchen, opening up the round in favor of VG. However, this line of sight
Adam's
that Glass
going to
has,
shove his butt here through the hole that was made open, and Eclipse is going to go for the peek. He gets the kill. The pre-fire kill will take him down. Plus that C4 into easy peasy. Now it's a 3-on-5.
Min is using those fuse charges though, and we'll get a kill onto Adam with said fuse charges. He's going to be challenging Eclipse with his shield on the stairs, and both of them are going to back off from that engagement. Interesting that that happened. I don't think Mint or Hot and Cold actually saw the pulse.
Yeah. So, I mean, with here, what we're seeing now, again, more fuse charges from Kitchen. Hot and Cold's going to work his way down the stairs. He's already been down here once. He's opened up the wall. He's just trying to get a handle on where the operators are, but there's 4 of them. You know there's going to be one in blue, at least one in church, one in an armory. They got to go for the push now. Snake Nade's going to be inside of the cave tunnel as we do have Zilchi that's been killed off, so there won't not be any more contesting from there. Snake actually might try to rotate up through cave back around into kitchen, but he's got to do so quickly.
I think we're going to see a smoke backwards shield plant, and it might be successful. Snake Nade's the only one in position to challenge this right now, and the plant is still going down. The diffuser gets planted, and now a 3 versus 3 as Hot and Cold gets the first kill in that engagement onto King George.
And this is where Mint needs to have one extra fuse charge and put it right up on top of the bomb site, so he can just stay right there.
Yeah.
But at the moment, he's just going to be down here in the main hallway waiting for Hot and Cold as well. Pojo Man is the one guy going to play up top. It looks like he might catch the head of Snake. Then he goes for it. He gets him killed off. This is going to be a 5-3 rotation around, and FlipSid takes round number 1 here.
That was a good strategy from FlipSid, but it mostly comes down to the fact that it was a good 3K from Pojo Man as well. Thank you, Spectator. He did get all the 3 of those kills from the drop down into the players, trying to rotate to retake the diffuser. But that round mostly, I'm going to be honest, almost entirely comes down to the fact that VG didn't reinforce the armory wall. What was that? They left it open for Ash to simply, I mean, because, okay, let's take a step back here. FlipSid, their strategy going into that round was not, hey, let's open up armory wall and push in there. That wasn't it. Because you can't rely on that being open. I mean, it's almost never a team leaves that unreinforced. I
mean, they brought the fuse shield, and that played perfectly for the fuse in the kitchen, and then the shield on the back to get the plant down.
Correlation does not mean causation. They did not pick that deliberately. Let's push in through armory wall. There is no way that they're like, hey, they're not going to reinforce armory wall. Let's do that. I mean, they obviously adapted their strat on the fly, capitalizing on the fact that that wall was not left unreinforced.
Yep.
Now we are going to see FlipSid see how they choose to defend basement.
So now FlipSid has gone for that mute pick again. Opting for no bandit this time, which typically you choose the bandit to get that extra barbed wire, which we're actually going to have a C4 instead of the 3 barbed wire, so they're negating a lot of slowdown utility.
Slowdown utility. That's that is actually
exactly what it's for.
It is an accurate statement. It sounds silly, but that is absolutely true. Instead, yeah, you have that Mira, and I feel like C4 is not necessarily a bad call when it comes to a basement defense. There's so many opportunities to kill an attacking player through the floor. However, you're putting it on a Mira, not a pulse. So, we are seeing that shield and mute strat with
Looks like they're going for the ominous strat here.
All of the Jaeger's going to be placed in there. All of the mute's going to be placed in the tunnel. And because there is no thermite, no Thatcher on the attacking squad, that means they are going to need to use, I think, almost all of their smokes and grenades to get that tunnel open.
3 smokes on Glaz. You have 3 smokes. Well, actually, what I would rather probably do is throw Hibana in through there.
Yeah, you could just use a Hibana or 2, and that would open it up. Looks like they won't be. Avian's already in the building. It doesn't seem like they are.
It will not get open. They're already deciding to go a different route.
Well, I don't know if they're going to decide to go a different route. As you can see, there's still a lot of attackers huddled around that tunnel, just kind of trying to figure it out. Maybe we can get in here this way, maybe we can get in here that way, but the reality of the situation is you need to either... Oh, they
do get it! I was about to say how many Vertical Gaming members does it take to solve a Rubik's Cube, but ultimately just 3.
Yeah, it seems like the shield placement and mute placement was a little bit off there, and because that thermite managed to open up the construction tunnel, that means there is not only an angle open up for the attackers, of course, that goes without saying, but so much utility wasted for the defenders just now. Like, a ridiculous amount of utility being wasted just now. A shield, 4 mutes, 3 Jaeger devices, and a piece of barbed wire. And that means that the rest of the site is going to be left a little bit sparse.
That is exactly what it means. Is King George going to work his way down the tunnel without any kind of pressure? I don't even know if they have it opened up, or if the defenders realize they've opened it up yet. Yeah. Now they do, now that smoke's there. But
yep.
So, looks like Hot and Cold trying to tuck himself. He's got another shield here. Looks, oh, his head's going to get seen. Do not move an inch, Hot and Cold, or you will regret it.
If he moves, if he even moves his crosshair from left to right, his head will pop up again, and he will probably get picked off by King George.
Oh, and Easy Peasy's taking quite the beating down. He's down to 1 health behind the ammo crate. Snake Nate going to go for that fire arrow.
You can see the flip side. They've set themselves up in a position, though, to hold this exact attack. They know where this is coming from. They have 4 players, a Mira and a shield, in a position, and smokes at that to stop this attack.
Stop moving, Hot. Do not move.
Don't do it, man.
He's waiting to try and force his head to twitch. Oh, on over. And there's his hand. He's going to see it. Oh, he misses it.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he did hit his hand. There's going to be a gas grenade. Still going to push him back a little bit. Looks like the fire arrow from Snake is going to take down Easy Peasy from behind the ammo crates. Nade's going to go on down. Flashbang's going to go on down. We're going to see VG try to drop and do a quick push down here into the back of Armory. Now Plant will go down. It looks as though Mint will go falling down from King George. He's going to get a double kill here onto Hot and Cold and Mint. Eclipse go will fall to Hot and Cold. Pojo Man will die by Avian.
Zilchi does stop the diffuser plant, though, and there's only 10 seconds on the clock. They need to get that diffuser planted.
They do, and it will happen by Snake Nade. King George and Avian going to hold down the fort as we have the diffuser getting planted by Snake. King George falls. We've got Zilchi in a 2-on-1. He's going to down him, but get killed off himself. And this round is going to go to VG.
One more player on the board for FlipSide. Might have gone a different way, but unfortunately, Zilchi was all alone. And because of that, the round was over. Now, you saw from FlipSide, they set themselves up in a very, very direct counter to what VG's take. Unfortunately, their mute placement was a little bit off. And then on top of that, they did get a couple of their players who were defending to count, like the smoke, for example, got fire arrowed, which got him picked up, or which opened up a lot of pressure off of the player in tunnel, which allowed King George to then peek out a little bit wider, get those 2 picks under the mute and the rook, I think it was, playing in blue. So it was just a good pick apart from VG to see that FlipSide is directly countering them, and they just need to adjust a little bit to the left to go for that side punch.
Now, we are going to have VG trying to hold down this bottom bomb site yet again. It did not work out in their favor. So they're going for round number 2 here. And what seemed to happen last time, we saw FlipSide get into the tunnel. Zilchi tried to do some work, but ultimately didn't. And then Hot and Cold's main ability was opening up that side wall. Fuse went in for the plant, and there was the round.
Yep. I mean, it really just came down to VG not reinforcing the armory wall.
They still are not.
They got one of them.
Well, that one was done before last time, too.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was just on the other side, so it didn't show in this spectator
okay,
cam.
so they're opting, I guess, to not reinforce the armory wall again? All right.
They're going to leave it to be the same way. That other one was reinforced.
I am confuzzled. I am profoundly confuzzled at this moment in time. It's going to be interesting to see how exactly VG chooses to handle this. Maybe it's intentional. Maybe they're trying to bait FlipSide into that attack strat, but why, though?
I mean, again, what we've talked about here is because this does not hold the highest importance, because both of these teams are guaranteed to land, it does allow for them to test out some things.
That is an accurate statement. I was about to start to try and contradict it, but it's just like, yeah, I guess that maybe they're just trying to experiment. Maybe that's exactly what's happening. Let's see what happens. Let's, use something different for once. Because it is very commonplace in baseline that a team will reinforce that wall. But whatever the case be, they're not doing that. And now, flip side, they are going to be clearing out the top floors as there are no roamers, as there are never freaking roamers on this particular bomb site, and then progressing their way down slowly, opening up lines of sight into the bomb site itself. As we go, here's Buck starting off with the camera. He's going to start opening up through likely those walls near the bar and the hallway.
Now Eclipse is still looking for someone to C4 from underneath. He's got Rook there with him. The whole inside of the floor that Adam was looking up at is to try to stop those Hibana charges from being destroyed. He's going to throw up that impact grenade, hit the bottom of the shelving unit, which is going to then explode. The AoE from that will destroy the Hibana charges in most cases if he can place it correctly.
So what we saw from VG last time they chose to defend this bomb site when they left the wall and reinforces, they did preemptively throw a C4. However, it didn't do anything, and it's not going to do anything this time. It looks like VG VG, what they're trying to do is bait FlipSid into that exact take so they can C4 them as they're pushing in from the main stairs, but it's just not working. The C4 is not landing.
See, I was going to say maybe Eclipse is holding on to an extra reinforcement and baiting that charge from Ash, and then just going to reinforce the wall when they go back up the stairs and don't even watch. But he doesn't. He's not going to do that, and it looks like Hot and Cold's going to try to challenge the feet of Eclipse. He's going to go dancing across the bullets. We're going to see some Neo here, and we still have Hot and Cold still unable to get these shots down. Now, cluster charge will go flying. That's going to be the first of 3. However, the C4 will take out Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. Eclipse is going to take down Zilchi. A 3-on-5 now with 45 seconds to go. Now Hot and Cold still waiting for that opportune moment to rush on in. Zilchi has been killed off, so he cannot see through that smoke grenade just yet. He's going to be very vulnerable trying to drone out Moto. Now we do have a last cluster charge going inside of the armory. You can see 3 are huddled around the locker, Snake inside of the cave, and you've got King George trying to hold down Church all by himself at the moment. Your Hot and Cold's going to try to rush on in, but Adam's already there. He will down him and finish him off. A very good shot. Now he's looking up. He's going to pick up the kill there onto to Mint, and last minute is going to be Pojo. He's going to try to drop. He takes off Adam's head first to start off the round. 2 seconds left. He falls, barely gets on down. He gets 1, but not enough time to get the rest of the remaining defenders. Round's going to go here to VG.
So in this case, baiting the attacking of FlipSid into taking from Armory Wall worked into the VG's favor. Now, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what they're doing, baiting them into that particular take, and let's talk about why. Now, I have to assume why is because VG were having difficulty holding a construction tunnel take, which is being pincered from blue, being pincered from kitchen, pincered from whatever the case be. But they're having, throughout their scrims, I'm guessing they're having trouble holding that construction tunnel take, which makes a lot of sense. It's a pretty strong thing. Putting a glass in construction tunnel can influence the round quite a lot. Now, when you put when you leave that wall unreinforced, then a team is thinking to themselves through the old meta terms is, okay, unreinforced armory wall, we opened up that armory wall, now we can just push our way in. It's a lot easier than going for construction tunnel take. In theory, right? It's supposed to be easier. So by baiting them into choosing to go for that attack instead, they just completely, well, they avoid a team taking from construction tunnel. They basically make it a less of a tantalizing option by presenting something
They make it more enticing to come down the main stairs and go into the armory from kitchen.
Because it's by old meta standards, by old manner consideration. Opening up Armory Wall is one of the easiest ways to take the basement. Simply opening up Armory Wall, moving your way in through the main stairs. It's easy. I mean, it's an easy take. And what we're seeing from VG is they're counting on a team well expecting that, and instead setting themselves up in a position to counter just that take by having 3 people, and if you count the player in construction tunnel, 4 people in a position to counter said take. So I like the way that the VG is trying to pivot the point of engagement from construction tunnel to armory wall.
Now we are not going to see Glaz push. Oh, we will see Glaz. King George and Snake are going to work their way down. Adam most likely going to head over into kitchen. I would not expect him to make this initial engagement, but he will use his smoke grenades to aid Glaz over here. Snake showing that he can army crawl his way into the site, into cave tunnel here.
Slowly but surely, being the little snake.
He's snaking his way all through the cave tunnel here. Glaz is going to be right behind him. Adam as well. They're going for a 3-man push on a Pojo man. Adam's going to go.
Is this roleplay? Is he roleplaying his way into the tunnel?
It might be the case here.
No, not roleplaying anymore. He got off his prone. But there are 3 people, as you said, progressing their way in through the tunnel. They're going to have to contend with Pojo Man, who has, he's actually opted to instead play it safe, back off into the armory site itself, because he can play from behind those boxes without exposing himself and still hold the tunnel.
Now, with a minute and a half, minute 40 left to go here, the attackers are, like I said, waking their way in through the cave tunnel. You've got Eclipse up inside of the freezer. And the last and noted Avian, the last attacker here, he's just finishing up getting the drop hatches available for the rest of his team.
And he's going to be applying a lot of pressure just by himself, opening up those drop downs. You see that same shield coming out from FlipSid, but Jaeger's going to be playing it behind it this time. It's a nice way to hold that construction tunnel. And see, VG, their counter to construction tunnel take is to present a better option, supposedly better option for FlipSid, and to avoid it altogether. But FlipSid's counter to a construction tunnel take is to stack players in a position to kill people as they come out of construction tunnel, and it hasn't been working out for them.
It has not, and this is their second attempt, so maybe something has changed. But it looks as though Snake is looking for the bullets, and there's going to be a nade gets tossed on over, and Snake is there to capitalize on it. A very good kill. Pojo Man still behind the ammo crates, though, and he is, for the time being, going to be safe.
Pojo Man is the linchpin in this defense. He needs to deny King George access to the site. But it's all going to come down to timing when he chooses to throw those smoke grenades, because if he peeks up for 1 second, he will get picked off.
Ooh, in his hand, his shoulder's going to get seen right there. It's going to get pinned, and he's got about 5 health. He's going to come around, and his side will get taken down. No one's looking through the mirror window to try to help that out. He's going to get hurt by a little bit by that gas grenade. 5 on 2 now. Zilchi trying to come up for the flank, but the diffuser has been planted, and he is the last man alive. Everyone's down on side of the site, and
They're
Zilchi
going to hear that.
gave it away.
Now they know that he is above, and Snake Nade's going to be looking for him. Gonna lose the engagement, back off, play it nice and safe. It is a 5 versus 1, but they don't need to take any unnecessary risks here. Eclipse gets picked off by FlipSid, putting it into a 1 versus 4. But again, the odds are very much against him. I don't even think, as of 3 armor, I don't think he has time to get back to the diffuser.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely. He's got to walk hard left, as that's where Thermite's going to be. That's Adam. You've got Snake Nade still inside of the cave tunnel, and now he's giving away. King George's going to come around and just annihilate Mira, and down she will go. VG takes round number 4. It's now 3-1.
Good attack from BG, and I talked about this earlier, but that is what we just saw there was your standard, very standard, construction tunnel glass, open up the kitchen, start pressuring from above, push the defenders out of armory, and then plant the bomb. It's very standard. It's what we expect to see, and it's what FlipSid expects to see, and it's what FlipSid put themselves in a position to counter. And I called it.
You called it.
I freaking called it.
You called it.
We're seeing it.
No. Yes, we are going to see our Spetsnaz. No, they're not. Stop toying with me, Snake Nade. Either show us the Lord or don't. You cannot tease us like this.
Wow, dudes. Just wow. All right? Wow.
Jeez.
Anyway, what we were talking about earlier, though, yeah.
They baited us.
Yeah, they baited us. I'm tilted, bro. Tilted. Anyway, what were we talking about? Okay, so basement defenses. So what we saw there from Vertical Gaming was the standard construction tunnel kitchen attack. We all expect to see it. It works very, very well. And then from FlipSid, we saw a defense which was catered to directly countering that exact attack. And guess what? Surprise, surprise. The defense that is countering that attack doesn't work. It was unsuccessful, and you know it's mostly strategy. It comes down to player skill, individual player skill a little bit, but it also comes down to a lot of strategy. I mean, the smoke missed his smokes a little bit there, and because of that, the glass was allowed to push in, blah 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 blah. But for the most part, it was strategy. Now, again, VG, what they did is instead of trying to counter, they've figured out that they can't directly counter the construction tunnel take. So instead of that, they're opting to say, hey, just attack our armory instead, and then countering that.
Yep.
Because it is counterable, and that's just trying to be at the forefront of the meta, and that's really great to see from Vertical Gaming on this Clubhouse.
And they said they weren't going to show us anything beforehand.
Well, I think you were what you were talking about earlier, experimenting.
Yep.
Now you could say this is the forefront of the meta, and it's something very special to see Vertical Gaming do, but it's also a risk because
it's a big risk, and it hasn't been refined, and so this is where they say this is where they're putting it to the test. Is this something that we can then evolve upon?
Yeah, and it looks like it was working out for them for the most part. Now, FlipSid, they're going to be attacking this bar from the strip club and pool table. And there are 2 roamers, I guess, or I guess we'll just call them strip club holders in the strip club, Avian and King George. They're going to get pincered from 2 different angles. They're going to start walking on top of each other.
They're going to go for it. Oh, it looks like though Avian will duck down below. King George will take down Mint as he gets nailed himself by Pojo Man. And Pojo Man will go with a double Bearing 9 kill into King George and Avian.
So that was a trade in favor of the attackers. However, the Montaigne has been taken out, which means that the push is going to be a lot more difficult from FlipSid. They still have the glass, so anything could happen. But at the same time, there's nobody to plant behind.
You are correct. And Eclipse actually falls down from Jim. He's going to try to come on over. And the Claymore was not planted in time. Yeah. Pojo Man is going nuts on this round here. He's taken down all 3 defenders so far. He's got Snake and Adam left to go.
Get the ace, bro.
Hey, I don't think
I believe in you.
I don't know.
Wow, look at Pojo Man. Jeez. He wants to win this map. Look at that.
Now they are deciding, okay, we've opened up Strip Club and we're actually going to rotate on over and go for a stock push, it looks like.
That's a good adaptation there, as the 2 remaining VG players have positioned themselves in a way to stop specifically a pool table take, and they're not going to be having that pool table take. Flip side, this is something there. Again, you talked about how they're famous for walking into a site and planting. They're also famous for really good rotations and well-timed rotations at that. They are going to simply get the bomb plant in the smoke right now.
Pojo Man's like, hey, I got this. And Hot and Cold will take down Adam. Last man alive is going to be Snake, and he will go down very easily, even quickly, by Easy Peasy. And now he's no longer got a donut.
Yeah, good job, Easy Peasy. You did it, man. You're on the board. And that was a nice cut off of the rotation there from Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. A good impact holes you saw between Master and Cash Room to give the defenders more versatility and have them be able to stop. But at the same time, it didn't matter. I mean, it was a 1v4. I mean, what are you going to do? Anyway, now we are seeing... Yeah, yeah, totally. You're going to clutch it as a 3 armor when the diffuser's planted, I believe. Faith, man, faith. You got to have faith. Anyway, 2-3 now in favor of VG still. Flipside starting to... initialize their comeback, but they are going to be going on to a Church Arsenal Room defense yet again. And if they're able to read into the fact of how VG is choosing to attack, maybe they will be able to, I don't know, further adapt their defense to directly counter VG's attack. I mean, how do you, in this situation, how do you deal with a construction attack when you have thus far been unable to, especially when you're stacking 4 players in a position to counter it? I mean, what more can you do, really?
Put 5. I mean, you can put 5. Let's just be real here. You can put 5 to counter that some more.
But you're not going to put 5
you're not going
because then you don't have any playing in Church, and then you're screwed.
So now flip side again, trying to hold on down here. This is a bomb site which they have been unsuccessful in holding just thus far.
Yeah, and it comes down to, we talked about this earlier, it comes down to straight up. Take from the tunnel, just taking from the tunnel, opening up above in kitchen, and I mean, it works.
See, now this is what we were talking about last week. You said you could put a shield down in there, and you were like, it's going to be very tough to find that sweet spot, but this just might be that sweet spot they're trying to get done.
Bear traps, shields,
oh my gosh, yeah. Mint, don't put it down, just run. Get out of there, because the wall is getting opened up, and there are 4 members of VG ready to move into the cave.
So this is going to be an entire round fought in a tunnel between a 2 whole teams.
How would you say, like, in regards to square footage of this map, would you say the tunnel is like 5% of the map?
No, probably 10, 20.
Oh, the burn! Snake Nade will take down Pojo Man with the arrow, and he actually is still alive.
So they're contending with this shield, but it's unfortunately working against the defenders right now. The attacking squad with those Capital bolts have made good use of them, pushing into the tunnel itself, and they still have to get past this barbed wire and shield, but they're not going to have much of a challenge doing that.
I mean, both of the fire arrows have been used up, and so right now they're just trying to get rid of the ADSs, allow for their smoke grenades to be good. They're going to toss out a grenade, so looks like Hot and Cold will not get tagged just yet, and it looks as though King George gets injured. They don't know it quite yet. He's going to try to crawl back to safety.
He's going to get picked up. Wow.
He will get picked up, as they will not go for that aggressive re-engagement. That could have been the deciding factor right there. He is going to go for the pre-fire, though, and he gets Adam down. Snake and King George are both drastically hurt. More fires are going on, and right there, Snake moving up a little bit closer, inching ever so closer, and King George will move on and get that kill. But then he gets traded off by Mint with that 9mm. Now, we've got a 3-on-3 at the moment, a minute 15 to go, but the glass has been taken down. But so has the smoke on the defense squad.
Still anyone's game going into this round, really. I mean, like you said, most of the big players are off the board already.
Now, Easy Peasy's going to take over that spot behind the ammo crates where smoke typically sits. And for us, that's Mint going to hold on to one last shot, put it on down for a potential rush from the stockroom drop into blue. Mint's going to get injured by his teammate, get picked back up inside a church. Now he's got 50 health. If only the same can be done for Snake, because he is drastically hurt, but he also is the only one inside of the cave tunnel at the moment trying to fight Easy Peasy. Eclipse will use that assault rifle take down Mint as Easy Peasy and Zilchi get one apiece. And we've got Avian trying to go head-for-head, a one-on-one at the moment, going up against Zilchi, and Zilchi will come out on top, and we're going into round 7 now. It's 3-3.
Both of these teams don't want to give up on this particular Clubhouse map, but yeah, no, flip side. So that defense, the way they chose to handle that was interesting to say the least. They contested very, very hard in that construction tunnel. And then after they got rid of the glass, they said, okay, get out, run away. And they started playing for the retake. And it worked for them stupendously, I'd have to say. I mean, not having those players in positions to get picked off by the tunnel itself really lended it to their favor. I do feel like some of those engagements could have been a little bit better in the favor of VG. For example, the Capitao having a holographic, he clearly did not see the Rook when he was peeking that angle. There was pretty much no chance he was going to win that engagement.
At the same time, FlipSid did allow King George to get picked back up after he was downed. So it's...
Yeah, that is kind of...
It was like both mistakes were made by both sides there. But what I am enjoying seeing here from VG and FlipSid are their different attempts at either holding or negating the push from Glaz onto Cave Tunnel.
I mean, it's great to see that... By the way, it's funny that the entire strategy of this basement hinges around that one factor. But anyway, it's great to see that FlipSid, what they were doing previously and what wasn't working, was stacking legitimately 4 people, a Mira, a shield, and everyone possible inside the armory itself, looking towards the constructed tunnel door. That tiny little door is so important. Anyway, so they were stacking 4 people towards that, and it just wasn't working out for them. They were getting picked off from different angles. They were getting challenged in ways that they couldn't handle. And so what they did is instead, all right, well, our strategy's not working. Let's just do something else. And so they hard contested inside the tunnel, and it's great to see that they can make that change. We can see here,
this is boppers on their Game Boys.
a bunch of snakes in their natural habitat chilling out on the floor, trying to find out using their omnipotence where everybody is.
I don't know what to make of this. Like, yes, you might be able to drone everything out, but by the time you get onto site, people could have come up. People could have rotated.
You know what it is? It's an active protest. They're like, we're not gonna execute this round because we're just gonna stay prone in our spawn. That's what's happening.
Now Pojoman will open up the construction site entrance into the cave tunnel
because there's no mute charges on there this time. And you know, it's interesting that they chose not to go ahead and try that again because. On the same time, Vertical Gaming, they haven't brought a Thatcher still. There's no Thatcher. So if Vertical Gaming had chose to do the mute trick again, if Vertical Gaming had chose to do the mute trick again, they probably could, or actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm mixing up my teams here. FlipSid are the people who do the mute trick. Vertical has as of
We haven't seen a Thatcher yet regardless.
Yeah, on either team, they're not doing Thatcher.
But we do have over half or a quarter of the round already gone. Almost a third.
They spent so much time droning out the building that, I mean, now they're looking at...
Adam getting a kill there on the hot and cold. I actually thought that was easy peasy for a moment with a shotgun.
That was the Hibana who was rappelling upside down, trying to open up that drop down in the kitchen. And because it's a predictable thing to be doing nowadays, Adam was just putting himself in a pixel angle position to challenge exactly that. And it worked out for him.
Now we are going to have Mint work his way into Freezer and eventually onto the kitchen floor, potentially getting Eclipse out of position. But, I mean, it takes time to place that cluster charge down, and Eclipse right now is just waiting for this C4 toss. Tosses it on up and will not get him as Mint dashed on out of the Freezer just in the nick of time. Zilchi, however, does get that headshot onto Adam as Avian takes out Zilchi in return.
Is that a banana pistol?
I don't know.
It looks fantastic. That's the yellow skin on that pistol. It looks exactly like a... Tell me
it is.
That's a banana.
It's
a freaking banana.
It's a banana.
Fuse charges coming out from Mint now, 49 seconds on the clock. There is a man advantage in the defender's side right now, but and more importantly, the attackers don't really have many good lanes.
Oh
no.
Man.
Mint, what did you do?
I think that was Pojo Man's fault. He got in the way of the cluster charge.
Yeah,
you can't blame Fuse.
You're not allowed to be in front of the cluster charge. F's in the chat, please, for FlipSid Gaming. Can I get triple F's in the chat?
All right, so it is a 4-on-2 at the moment. 23 seconds left to go in the round, and Easy Peasy still working his way here inside of the kitchen.
Thank you, ESL admin. I appreciate that, man. 15 seconds, like you said. There's not a lot for FlipSid to be doing in this round.
Mint is going to try to get this plant down, though. He's just moving on in behind the mini bar. Looks like one kill is going to go down. He's going to go to the dark corner and go for this plant. This actually could be in favor of FlipSid if Easy Peasy can just hold on to Snake Day, but he does get injured. Avian coming on down, and we will see the round go to VG.
Good round, good round. Unfortunately, Pojo Man carelessly throwing himself in front of a fuse charge, putting the
I mean, honestly, I feel the same way when the hostage dies. It's not it's not the fuse's fault. It is the hostage that is in the room.
Yeah, no, it's entire. You're definitely right about that. I mean, the fuse is just trying to clear out the defenders, and the hostage is clearly intending for intending to die to the attacker. He's trying to get the defenders to win those rounds. I mean, it's clear as day. But anyway, now we are on match point in favor of VG, and they're going to be going on to their attack of the bar stockroom. So it's soundly against FlipSid. However, as of this moment, we have not seen how FlipSid chooses to defend this bomb site. So it's entirely possible something spectacular and magical will come from FlipSid's lineup, and they'll do some, ninja moves and somehow win a bar defense going into this round.
Very possible. I mean,
if Vertical mess up, I mean, anything could happen, right? But really, in reality, to be honest here, if Vertical just do attack that they're familiar with, they execute in a way that cannot be countered, like a take master, take strip club, and then, force the defenders off the pool table and plant the diffuser. It's that simple. If that happens, then we're going to be seeing the next map.
Yeah, the setup that we're seeing here from FlipSid with their operator selection, their reinforcements, whether it's on garage, on the kitchen hallway wall, or the strip club wall, they all seem to be very static. They're very standard. They're very well known. Now, the only thing that is a little bit different are these garage reinforcements, but we see them enough.
Yeah, you say different, but I'd say about 70% of teams will do that. And you're right though. Most of these reinforcements coming out from FlipSid are pretty standard, pretty commonplace. Here's these yellow cams that have been made good use of by a lot of teams as of late, giving you some one-way information onto the attacking squad. We are going to be seeing VG setting themselves up for a stockroom take. Mint is going to be the player in a position to stop this stockroom take. And maybe they're just kind of, I think they're just probing the defenses right now. They're not wanting to commit to anything as of yet. I'm going to look at their options.
So what we have from Mint, unfortunately, there is no more barbed wire.
What we have from Mint is a silencer on an SMG.
I want to say that the silencer on this weapon actually sounds pretty good.
It sounds awesome.
I enjoy it.
But the gun does like 5 damage or something.
And the
like
cluster
that.
charge is going to force Mint to move on over. He's going to try to blow C4. He actually injures himself with his own C4.
Oh, no.
What are you doing, Mint?
Oh, man.
Oh, my Lord. Hot and Cold will also get injured. Avian will take off the head of Zilchi. Now it's a 2-on-5. However, we are seeing Mint get picked back up. But a double fuse charge from Snake Nade will take down Hot and Cold to Pojo, man.
Oh.
And this round will go to Vertical Gaming. There it is, ladies and gents. That is map number 2. And
in
going
the favor
to
of
Vertical
VG.
Gaming.
So we're going to be going to the third map because FlipSid, they won on Skyscraper, and now Vertical Gaming are winning on Clubhouse, and that was fantastic. Oh, that was just fun.
I'm enjoying the fuse play.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the fuse play too. I mean, it was funny that Valkyrie downed herself, but at the same time, she was trying to run away from fuses.
It just seems like Pojo Man is attracted to fuse charges, whether it's by his own team or the enemy team.
Right. No,
2 rounds in a row.
I think that he was the smoke who got downed in lobby in that situation. So yeah, he's not having a good time with those fuse charges from his team, like you said, or from the enemy team. We will be going to apparently presidential plane. No, I'm just messing around.
No, we are going to go to our Kafe map for the third map of the evening between Vertical Gaming. But let's take a look at some of the highlights here.
So that was a 3K from Pojo Man. We didn't get to see the other 2 kills, but that was a nice try. And a nice try from Zilchi there, too.
Now, that was kind of a collapse when Hot and Cold got forced out of the shield that he was hiding in. Nade forced him out, and he got picked off. No, Pojo Man just coming in and destroying right now, and that's going to be the fire arrow taking out Pojo Man. He's been not having a good day, dying by a lot of utilities.
Yeah, but well, I mean, he's been fragging out as well, though. So I mean, despite all of those.
Oh my gosh, Mint.
Why do you highlight these things, production?
Mint.
What did they do to you, man?
But no, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting underway with our third map of the evening. Again, these are the top 2 teams from the North American region, and because they've already secured their spot into LAN, we are not seeing the highest level new strategy, high-tech stuff that we would expect to see, like we saw from Elevated and Ominous earlier today.
Yeah, these guys are just taking it as it comes, just rolling with the punches. It doesn't matter to them terribly who actually comes out on top. They're just kind of seeing, the winner does get first seed versus the loser who will get second seed coming out of North America, but that isn't the end of the world. So, well, these teams trying to have a little bit of fun experimenting what we saw with VG earlier with that nice basement defense, trying to shift the FlipSid attack away from Construction Tunnel. So that's some example of some cool experimentation.
All right, so right now they're going over a coin toss to decide who's going to determine the side that they want to begin on. So our admins backstage or back in production are going to decide or toss the coin, as I believe VG is calling heads. And on to Kafe, we've seen a lot of teams prefer to start choosing that top floor site inside of the bar and the
I mean, I think
The other bar.
throughout history, everybody on Kafe has always preferred
Really?
the upstairs. Yeah, most of the like train. Okay, yeah, no, I think upstairs has been. I mean, okay, season 1 it might have been train. But
All right, season 2 it wasn't in the Pro League, which is when I played, which is probably why I don't recall.
And then season 3, and then on, it was definitely bar. I mean, you're thinking when you're talking about bar versus train room, yes, you have to deal with the skylight, and that's sure that's an influence on the round. That's a vertical pressure from above, but it's not nearly the same thing as a destructible floor where you can place fuse charges. You can dictate when you're engaging, who you're engaging, using Buck's shotgun or sledge or what have you. You can throw grenades through. I mean, there's so many more options when it comes to destructible floor versus just a little skylight.
Yep.
So I feel like not having to deal with the vertical pressure from above on the upstairs defense has made a lot of teams prefer it overall.
Yeah, we've started to see. I like the amount of castle that we're seeing played.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've seen it on pretty much every defense on any bomb site here so far today.
Remember when Montaigne got his buff? I mean, he got the side flaps, right? And then he got the C4 resistance, and then he started to see more play because he wasn't dying to C4s in one shot. Well, now Castle doesn't die to Glass in 3 shots, so yeah, he sees a lot more play because it makes sense to actually bring him in. I mean, we were seeing him even when he was getting shot by Glass, but now as a defender, you can dictate where the attackers can and cannot go most of the time, and if they don't have a sledge, they don't have an ash, don't have any actual way to open up the castle barricades, it does slow them down quite a bit.
It does, and we are getting underway with our 3rd map of the evening for these 2 teams, Vertical Gaming and FlipSid Tactics. It is going to be on Kafe, and as we get underway, let's take a look at their operator selections.
All right, Hibana, Glaz, Blitz, Blackbeard, and Twitch can't help but feel like they're trolling us again on that Blitz, but we'll see what happens.
No, they're not trolling us. Snake Nade's gonna play it because... Get out of here, Snake. Snake, I've got your number, son.
All right, so a more standard lineup coming out from VG. Hibana, Glaz, Ash, Blackbeard, Twitch.
Why would you do that? You know.
It's all right, Blood. It's all right, buddy.
I'm out for blood now.
And on defense, Mira, Jaeger, Valkyrie, Smoke, and Echo coming out from the FlipSid lineup.
You know, it would have been better if you did echo. Yeah, no, the stuttering didn't work.
Well, I said and whatever, it doesn't matter. We're going to be seeing them defending, lo and behold, the upstairs bomb site from FlipSid. This is unprecedented.
I think it's very well noted. No, but in reality, we are starting to see the upstairs bomb site be the most, the one that's chosen the most.
You see, you keep saying starting to see.
Starting, it's guaranteed to be.
It's the upstairs bomb.
Yes. People
like the upstairs bomb site. We've seen a couple teams try to go for train first, but I think most of the time it's just to throw the other squad off. I think that's really the only reason you're going to be doing that. Nice camps coming up from Hot and Cold. Sorry, buddy, you're going to have to make new ones after today. These are actually pretty common ones, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get picked off real easily by a VG. We'll see what happens. They're going to be setting themselves up, going to the roof, as you expect to see from most of these attacking squads. Now, it's worth noting that VG, they don't have a thermite, which means that they are going to be kind of limited on the walls they will be able to open up going into this attack. There is no pressure coming from FlipSid in the piano itself, although I believe they do have those mirror windows looking into piano from the freezer.
I'm deploying a drone.
Now we are going to see King George start to drone on out as Adam's holding the little pixel angle all the way down at the bottom of red stairs, looking for someone to start to rotate on up.
So Adam being in this particular position means that there is only one way for the defenders to rotate back onto the top floor if there are any roamers, and there is one roamer. Only 4 players from the defensive squad on the top floor. There is only the white stairs now for those players to rotate back, and that's pretty commonplace that an attacking squad will cut off the red stairs pretty early in these upstairs attack.
Now, what we're seeing here, just by that bird's eye view, we saw 4, like you said, 4 of the defenders are on site. They're pretty much huddled around, and I'd say 25% of the map, a corner of the map here. And that's going to give Piano Room the flexibility to be taken over by Vertical Gaming as long as they get that mirror window opened up.
And they do have the Hibana, so there's every possibility that they can get it open. They also don't, there is no mute, and there is no bandit, which means there's no disruption to prevent that. That camera getting taken out is actually more significant than most default cameras in the game. Eclipse getting a pick onto Zilchi to start up the round for them, but Mint on a quick trade back.
Now, both of these mirror windows have been opened up successfully by Eclipse before he was taken out. King George making sure that the body is dead. He's moving on over now. Mint's inside of the bathrooms. Will he try to move on over? He's going to get actually killed off by Pojo Man after he's been disoriented. Now a 3-on-4. 55 seconds left to go. Snake trying to come on over. Fight Mint instead of that back hallway. Adam going to go for that headshot on the hot and cold from the flank around, and that is a good shot, a good coverage from Blackbeard up on top of the drop hatch.
Yeah, covering that flank is very important. A lot of teams don't actually do that. Pocho Man getting a trade or getting a kill onto Avian, putting his team in the man advantage, and Mint securing it even more. Now it's all down to Adam in a 1 versus 3 situation. 30 seconds on the clock.
Like we said, there are 30 seconds. Adam trying to go for the push here. He's going to go for the one tap onto Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. And Mint is just tucking himself around. Pojo Man, yet again, another headshot kill into the piano room. And that is going to be game number 1, or round number 1, going to Vertical Gaming. Or sorry, FlipSid.
Right.
The defenders.
Flippity flappity side. On the flip side, it was the flip side who took the first round. I can't help myself sometimes. I know. I can't help myself. Looks like we will be having a... no, we won't. Play out? Okay, we will not be having a rehost. Thank you, VG, for that. I appreciate that, Adam. It's very kind of you to let this continue on, friendo. Thank you. Thank you. When you're watching this VOD back, thanks, VG. Appreciate it.
So we are moving on to round number 2. Seeing as how we are going to see that bar and cocktail lounge chosen by VG. Let's see if the defense is going to be a little bit different. They are choosing the exact... No, they're not choosing Echo. They're choosing Bandit instead. But other than that, they're choosing the same ops.
Yeah, I think bringing the Bandit in this situation might actually lend to their advantage. Denying the Hibana access. I said Hibana. There is no Hibana. There is no breachability yet again on the flip side tactics lineup. Instead opting to bring a Glaz, a Twitch, an Ash, a Blackbeard, and a Thatcher. So an interesting decision by them. I think this is definitely not the first time they've done this. Not bringing any breach. I can't help but feel like they're just messing around. Not bringing a Thermite or a Hibana. I mean,
they've brought in Thatcher. They got half the puzzle.
they can get rid of the bandit charges, but they can't open the wall. So, I mean, they can open up the. At least they can get those mirrors though with the Twitch. That's something, right?
Now the wall looks like Hot and Cold's having a little bit of difficulty here.
He's doing a standstill moonwalk. That's what's happening.
Right now, it looks as though I don't know. The rehost actually was called after the 15-second mark, so I don't. Oh, we are going to see a rehost.
We are going to be seeing a rehost. The admin's going to be calling it. Looks like Hot and Cold.
Jinxed him.
It looks like he crashed. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but he's just doing a little jig and spawn, and now we're going to be seeing.
You jinxed it.
You could be seeing my face and his face, and you can all blame me because I obviously jinxed it. That's what happened. It was the theme song.
You jinxed it, and now we're here back on our lovely faces instead of the gameplay. But no, so for Kafe, for the first round that we saw there, we saw Vertical Gaming trying to progress onto the site, and they just kept getting picked off. Pojo Man had a really good position inside of the freezer.
Well, a really good position, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Also one of the most predictable positions in the entire game, yes. Also that, which is why we see a lot of teams, the meta shifted from, instead of challenging piano directly into freezer, let's just go through the cigar
lounge,
door.
the cigar door into the site.
But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but they didn't do that. Which is what we see a lot of glass play there, especially because you need to be able to, if you're going to be pushing through cigar door, you need to be able to directly challenge the people who are going to be holding those angles and win those engagements. And Glass is definitely the best operator to do just that. We also see sometimes some Montaigne, but it's a little bit riskier because you can get the C4 from underneath when you're not actually pushing all the way in. I mean, it's all down to the team and their preference, really.
Yeah, one of the things we saw from Vertical Gaming on that defensive hold, the one that we just had the rehost on when they were prepping, they opened up the entire floor going in from Cigar Lounge into the bar. And so that's easy. Just you don't even need a pulse. You just need to have eyes, and you'll see up, and you'll be able to get those kills.
Yeah, I mean, it's because of that's where everybody goes every time on that attack, and it was really cool to see. We haven't seen it. It was Playday 2, I think, in the group stage where we saw a team. Oh, who was it? Was it FlipSid? No, it was one of the other American teams.
What'd they do?
They opened up. They got the Glaz on the scissor lift. They opened up through the window into reading room, and then established line of sight all the way down underneath the B-bomb site, and then they repelled on the B-bomb site windows and just straight up repelled into the site and planted.
Honestly, I want to say that was either Continuum or Elevate. I don't know for sure.
Wasn't Elevate, because I know Elevate, they picked apart Continuum's defense and they were coming from piano. I saw it.
Gotcha.
I remember that. But it was, whatever the case be, that was a really cool strategy. We haven't seen it a lot going into the rest of the Pro League. We also saw in that last round before it started, really, in the prep phase. No.
Oh.
In the second round. VG, they were setting themselves up in a position to stop just that attack. You saw Snake Nade. He was in the reading room, reinforcing the wall to make that not possible.
Yep, and so that's what will probably have to happen again, as we are going to get back into just a moment, waiting on one last player to funnel themselves on into the lobby here. But again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you at home joining us right now, this is the final map of this final series of the North American Pro League playoffs. Both of these teams, Vertical Gaming and FlipSid, have already guaranteed their spots to LAN, and they are just fighting to determine who is first and who is second in the North American region going into the brackets of LAN. Earlier this afternoon, or earlier this evening, we got to witness Ominous and Elevate GG, and that was quite a showdown.
Yep.
Elevate came out on top after 3 maps, and they will be taking that 3rd spot from North America in the LAN event. Now, from North America and Europe, we have 3 teams that go to LAN, and from the Latin American region, we only have 2. And we'll talk more about that after the show is over, or once the match is done. But nonetheless, I'm really happy to see the Rainbow Six Pro League begin to expand. We really haven't talked much about this in the fact that we have now encompassed the Latin American into the Pro League.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see Latin America come into the Pro League. I mean, they have a big scene in of itself down there, down in Latin America. I mean, it's very. Well, it's huge, and there's a lot of fantastic teams that are coming out of there, coming out of that region. And it's gonna be cool to see those 2 teams, how they perform, going up against the North Americans, going up against the Europeans at LAN. You know, the Latin American teams are really good, but they also don't have as much experience clashing with North American and European teams as North American and European teams have with each other. So
yeah, it seems like the relationships and the scrimmages that happen are the EU to NA meta seems to be more close. The Brazil meta is kind of on its own island, but it's also developing, and it's difficult, I would say, for North America and Europe to kind of counter them in a sense, or to understand them.
It goes both ways. It really depends on the teams, to be completely honest with you. But all the same, we are getting back into the match. We're gonna have FlipSid. They're going to be attacking. We're going to have Vertical Gaming. They're going to be defending, and they're going to be defending upstairs first. That makes a whole lot of sense. FlipSid did win their first upstairs defense, and we'll see exactly what goes down leading into this round.
No.
I get no breachability coming out from FlipSid. None.
Correct.
Zilcherino.
We're going to see same operators chosen. Snake Nade's going to go downstairs, open up, or sorry, reinforce some of the walls like he did previously. But with Vertical Gaming, the standard setup seems to be unfolding yet again from these guys. We're going to see the walls inside of Piano get reinforced, inside of Freezer. The one that is a little different is what Snake has been doing. And right now he's underneath, opening up this before. This is what we talked about before.
This is called site construction, ladies and gentlemen.
And
it almost always comes down to smoke.
I mean, we are closing out on a lot of finals for people in college. He's probably finishing off his architecture degree or his interior design. He now has a master's.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Yeah, that's what's happening now. Yeah, no, FlipSid, they're going to be rappelling themselves up in a group here to the roof to try and establish, well, dominance over the roof. Oh my gosh, surprise, surprise, on a Kafe attack. Are you kidding me? That's never happened before. And they're going to be progressing from this roof down into likely Piano. And from Piano, pivoting through Cigar and the Freezer wall into the B-bomb site. Serious.
Now we are going to have Easy Peasy working his way here. Still looking at the top. Last time this is where Blackbeard, I think that was Snake that was actually coming around.
Yeah.
And so FlipSid again going for the standard push where they're going to drop on the top of red, work their way into Cigar Lounge, and then ultimately into the B site.
So
but they do need to get rid of the people underneath.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here is they're going to challenge these anchors, and they're going to either win or lose with these anchors, and that's going to happen. And you know, based upon that, the round will be determined. And then the stipulation, the thing is though, there's nothing that FlipSid has to come back if they lose to the anchors. Whereas if the anchors lose to these guys taking into the site, there's still roamers downstairs in a position to stop the plant.
Yep.
And with a minute 30 on the clock, I mean, no man off the board on either side. That's half the round gone already. So the defenders are looking in a good position already.
They are, and it looks as though Hot and Cold finally has spotted someone. He's going to focus on down the red stairs into the mining room, but to his right inside of the train is going to be King George, and he's exposing himself to that right now. But however, We've got King George who's just going to peek his head out, and Hot and Cold will take it off and decapitate him. A 4-on-5 now, with still 60 seconds left to go. Hot and Cold's still going to hop on top of drones, but it looks like as though Snake may have taken it out. So Hot's moving on over to the freezer. I'm sorry, over to the fireplace.
I like the way that Hot and Cold chose to counter that roam there. He crouch walked his way through that oh, it gets killed by Eclipse as I'm trying to talk him up. Why, Hotton, dude? Why?
So that means that trade-off there goes to a 4-on-4. Now Mint's now got to take over the flank coverage as we have Zilchi still progressing forward into the site. He's watching Benoth. He knows that smoke is most likely out there, and that's actually exactly where he is. He's now moved over to the push of the cigar lounge.
Yeah, but there's only 25 seconds on the clock here, and all the defenders have to do is chill. And there goes Eclipse. Peace out, dude.
And here comes one shotgun shell from underneath, a couple pumps, but it looks as though Zilchi has dropped on through and has gotten Snake. There's 15 seconds to go. Mint trying to crouch his way forward. He's going to go for the backwards plant. He doesn't have a shield on his back. Adam's the last one alive. C4's going to get tossed and actually destroy Zilchi, and Mint going to come on up. He's going to go for this plant, and there will be the kill from Easy Peasy down onto Adam, and we're going to have round 2 go to FlipSid.
Don't watch. All right, guys. Nobody watch. Everybody avert your eyes real quick. Nobody saw that.
I saw it.
No, you didn't. Don't lie, all right? Don't lie. Looks like we're going to be seeing a Rehosta Reno because of the crash from one of the players on the VG lineup. Now, that's an unfortunate circumstance for VG, but I'm pretty sure that round is going to count nonetheless.
Yep. No, that round will definitely count. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So with that, we are going to get into round number 3 after we get this rehost done. But that kind of positioning from VG, we saw Snake Dade right underneath. Are you doing another kick dance?
What? I'm not doing anything
right now.
What are you talking about?
No, so the little positioning that Snake Dade had underneath, well, I say little, but it was a big positioning, very, very thought out. But at the same time, all Zilchi had to do was just drop. He got the kill, perfect timing. I don't think anyone would have expected someone to go away from the site with 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah, it was kind of unpredictable. But I think, you know, it was sad because Adam could have. I feel like Adam could have clutched that out if he hadn't switched to his shotgun. He had his aim on both of those players, but he was using a shotgun, so the bullets just went everywhere. It was kind of unfortunate to see that last 1 versus 2 that he couldn't clutch it out. But it was a nice try. All the same. All the same. Oh, the same. Yeah, nothing really nothing changing too much on these Kafe holds or attacks for the most part. It's all predictable stuff we've seen before. It's all mostly coming down to engagements and roamer hunting. You saw there from FlipSid, they did a very good job of, you know, I was trying to talk about it earlier, but Hot and Cold, the way he chose to handle that Valkyrie. So he knew there was somebody in train.
Yep.
He just didn't need to peek him initially, because if he had peeked him,
that's the pre-angle.
Yeah, he would have been putting himself into a pre-aim from the Valkyrie, but more importantly, a crossfire from whomever would be playing in the hallway, and he wasn't sure about that. So, crouch walk underneath the wheel. You're not exposed to the train room, and you can also watch the hallway as you do it. And then, right when you're ready, just pop back up, and hey, there's a Valkyrie. You get to kill her. Free kill.
So that was the kill that he had gotten, but then he went on over, and I believe that was the Jaeger that swung around. That was Eclipse. Eclipse was the Jaeger swung around from that reading room hallway towards the back of White Stairs and popped him with a little nice shot there.
Yeah, no, it was a good trade back. And because Eclipse traded him back there, it meant that the roamer game was still alive, and it meant that the defenders had a chance. Unfortunately, though, Snake Nade, when he was playing underneath, he did get picked off and was unable to stop the plant. So, and it's unfortunate that he couldn't work it into his advantage.
It is, and we are starting to get the players to follow back in here. Now we're going to see the teams go. Actually, no, they're still going to go up top. No one has won downstairs or up top 4 yet.
Everybody's winning all those offensive rounds.
That seems to be the case.
Actually,
that's what happened a lot in Skyscraper, right?
Didn't FlipSid win their defense upstairs? Am I tripping?
I think you're tripping.
I
think
tripping,
it's 1-1.
Okay. Well, no, it's not 1-1. We've seen 3 rounds played.
We have?
Yeah, that was the 3rd round. Either I'm tripping.
We had a rehost. Maybe. No, you're right.
No, whatever the case be, we'll find out when we get into the match, guys. We can't decide. I know you guys in the chat are spamming it right now, but we can't see that, so I'm sorry about that, man. It hurts.
So getting underway here with Kafe, we're going into the round where Vertical Gaming is now going to be on attack, which I believe is round number 3. They're gonna attack the top side again. What happened previously was they all just tried to funnel in through Piano when even both windows were open of the mirror windows inside of the freezer, and they just couldn't. You had what? No, what am I thinking here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I know that VG lost their upstairs attack for FlipSid, dude.
They did. Oh, you are right. You're right. So it is 2-0.
He was in piano. He got picked off by the
FlipSid won.
Yeah. So
2-0.
it's 2-0 if anything.
Yep.
And And yeah, and we're going to see FlipSid. They're going to be defending Train Room, and we're going to see how FlipSid choose to interpret the Train Room attack. Now, it's also going to be important to note how exactly FlipSid choose to defend it, because there are multiple different ways. And let's talk about the many different ways to defend Train Room. So we've seen some great ways of holding it from that are kind of outside of the meta this season so far. And we've seen players, 4 players playing in Train Room, 1 player playing above, and then, you know, Mira's looking into the sites and nobody in sight at all. Just let the attackers take it and go for the retake.
Yeah, Ominous's take on that.
That was Ominous's take, yeah. And it didn't work for him, but it was real cool to see that there are many different ways you can hold the site. And it almost worked for them. It was so close, but I'll say it didn't. And yeah, so there's that way. There's, you know, doing it a little bit more conservatively, where you still play 1 player in the train. You play maybe 3 centered around library, maybe 1 on the bottom floor, and then 1 on the top floor. There's the more common way, which is you play 1 in train, you play 1 other in the B-bomb site, you play 1 in reading, 1 on the, and then 2 on the upstairs hold. And that's more common. I think it's something we see a lot of in the current meta as it stands. But it's been falling out of favor, I feel. It's a more versatile way to handle it, but a lot of teams are trying to go for the extremes. And, like, for example...
So you say going for the extremes. Does that mean that since these teams are testing meta, we could see a downstairs hold? Or is that still so far out of the meta that... No, like honestly, so with the addition of Mira, you can now reinforce 1 wall, put a Mira on facing the main door. You can then play back in kitchen. You can then destroy that Mira window if you need to in overtime.
So... what you're saying is kitchen bakery holds.
Yes.
Mira from kitchen into
the connector to the main door.
Yeah. So yeah, if we put a Mira in the kitchen to prep kitchen, or washroom or whatever you want to call it, and then you put a Mira from the bakery wall into the bakery itself inside kitchen again, then you could theoretically cut off the plant spots, but I mean, it's still risky.
And it's super risky, but
I mean, maybe they're going to
we've seen some really risky things here on Clubhouse. We saw some risky things on Chalet. I mean, yes.
If any team is going to do it, it's going to be FlipSid.
Yeah.
Like they're the team that they go to the other bomb site in every single map. That's just how they do things. And that said, no, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't see it being plausible. Oh gosh. So we did have to do some things, and now we're getting everybody. Actually, people are actually getting in the lobby now. It's awesome. It's great to see popping in there. See how long it takes, but yeah.
So VG's going to be back on attack side. FlipSid's following in or floating in here on the defensive squad. Now, with regards to their operator selections, some operators that we haven't seen yet that I would have expected to see more of. We haven't seen much Buck. We've seen more Sledge than Buck on this map. We saw a lot of him on Clubhouse. We haven't also seen a lot of what other attacker am I thinking? We saw IQ actually picked up quite a bit on Skyscraper.
Hibana, Thermite,
Hibana, Thermite. We haven't seen those.
Montaigne. I mean, you know, the lack of a Hibana and Thermite, especially on like FlipSid specifically. On by the way, they won that attack with no breaching power at all. None. Zilch. I mean, that's impressive. I have to say, commendations for winning with no Hibana or Thermite. Even if it's a sort of even if it's a map or a bomb defense that you don't necessarily need one, and I wouldn't say that you really have to have one on piano. It just makes your life a little bit easier. It's still impressive.
Agreed.
Because it limits you.
And we are waiting on one last member to join us in the lobby before we begin on Kafe. It is round number 3, 2-0. FlipSid's going to be leading the way. And they're going to go downstairs into, most likely, what would be the train and mining room, or the fireplace and mining room.
It's going to be the fireplace mining room. It's their only option. They did win the upstairs defense. It is 2-0 in favor of FlipSid right now on the 3rd map of this 3-map series, and we are going to be getting right into the match. Get hyped. Let's go.
So, we're moving in. We've got about the same operators that were chosen before. A little bit different in the sense of, was Blackbeard chosen previously?
Yes.
For VG?
Yes, he was.
All right.
They've both these teams have been bringing Blackbeard, I believe. Yeah, what he said. What the guy in the chat just said. Yes. Seconded. Can I get a 3rd?
Now, here we are. Round number 3 is beginning. We do have a 2-0 lead by FlipSid, so they're going to be choosing onto...
Yes, it's going to be train. It's their only option. They have to go train because they're not going to be going to freaking bakery kitchen because nobody goes to freaking bakery. Oh, God. I wish they would, though. That would be awesome.
Now, with FlipSid over here choosing this location, we are not going to see that mirror play. That's one of the things that Ominous would most likely pick on up. But for here, they're not going to go with it. They're instead just going to go for some, what would be seemingly good / standard reinforcements.
See where King George's drone is right there? That wall, you could put a mirror there. That'd be really useful. The wall in the B-bomb site as well, where that painting is on the floor. You could put a mirror there. That would be really useful. That'll give you full visibility into the hallway and then red hall as well. So, I mean, like, there's great places to use mirror here. They're just opting not to. I mean, they don't need to. I mean, it's not essential on this hold.
Yep.
They are going to be going for a pretty heavy roam strategy right now. It looks like they're going to be having 1 or 2 players in the site itself. Some pressure. I'd like to see what's going on upstairs. All right, we've got 2 players roaming upstairs, Pojoman and Zilchi. No mirrors like you talked about earlier, so that is going to be not a hard line in the sand. A lot of teams, what they'll try to do is defend this as if they're defending upstairs. But in this situation, they're opting to go with kind of a softer hold. Although Pojoman playing in Cigar, that is very dangerous and very exposed. The camera getting picked off early there is a very predictable common camera. That makes a lot of sense. They're going to be droning out these defenders on the top floor and looking to push onto them. Now, a lot of this round is going to come down to whether or not these roamers upstairs are going to be able to waste any time, get any picks, or if they're just going to go down without accomplishing anything.
Yeah, and so we're going to see King George. Everyone, actually, from the attacking squad is going to be up on top of the roof. They're seeming like they're playing this very similarly to how you would take over the top floor bomb site. Is you just go on through the top of red, work your way into Cigar. Eclipse is falling through the skylight. Avian's droning it out for him. There's not going to be any roamers up top. So
they just defaulted off. They didn't want to challenge at all, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, it didn't waste. They didn't waste a lot of time, but why take the risk if you don't need to? When you're challenging an Eclipse who's got a FAMAS, it's a very powerful gun. It's also a big risk.
Now, King George and Eclipse are both going to spot out Zilchi here momentarily. They know that he's in the back reading room corridor right outside a fireplace. With that, Eclipse is going to continue getting back on his drone. Avian and Eclipse are now working their way in through bar and those back stairwells. They've opened up the drop hatch, I think.
Yeah,
so they might be able to drop into laundry.
They have a lot of options here, and they're taking their time with this attack. It's going to be interesting to see how exactly they choose to handle this, because they haven't actually opened up... I mean, they're opening up holes into the site, lines of sight, they're opening up the drop, but they haven't actually dedicated themselves to any particular form of take, right as of this moment. They still have every option in their favor. Hot and Cold playing in the red, and Mint is going to be playing in reading room. We actually have still a very heavy roamer strategy coming out from FlipSid, and 41 seconds on the clock. Nobody has died yet. Neither of these teams have engaged each other.
Yeah, they are just trying to take away as many angles as possible, but as the round goes down, they know that everyone's going to have to get off of this. You've got 3 attackers on the back stairwell here. They are going to try to go for a fireplace push, but I don't know how successful that's going to be.
Yeah, the Habanas did get destroyed enough to the point at which you cannot go through them, obviously. And as such, this attack is going to be stalled out a lot. They're going to enter to a crossfire. Pojoman's going to get the first kill into Eclipse.
And as Avian drops in through the laundry, he will pick up Pojoman in return. A 4-on-4. Mint's now coming out over here. Will he get a shot? He will down Avian after the hot and cold kill. However, easy peasy lemon squeezy takes down Adam. He's going to get down another, and King George finishes off easy peasy, and the defenders are going to win that round. FlipSid showing that, hey, we can do Kafe quite well.
Yeah, now it's a 3-0 lead in favor of FlipSid, and VG, they well, on that attack, they just wasted too much time clearing out the roamers. When they went for their site take, I mean...
They didn't even clear out the roamers.
They pushed the roamers back. They cleared out the roamers. They took control of the land that they wanted to have control of, which is the top floor. However, because FlipSid chose not to challenge them, chose not to confront them at all, just waited patiently, twiddled their thumbs as VG established themselves and poised for their attack. Because that happened, when they're going into the actual attack, they're entering into a straight-up crossfire. There's the Valkyrie who's playing in the laundry. There's somebody playing in the reading room. There's 2 players actually playing in reading room. There's players all up in red. All of the defensive operators were nowhere near any sort of position where they can be killed from the holes that were being opened up from above.
Looks like Hot and Cold has frozen and crashed yet again, unfortunately.
Yeah, peace out, Hot and Cold. It was nice knowing you, man. So we are going to be seeing a rehost. Surprise, surprise.
So that makes it 3-0 still for FlipSid.
Yup.
Now, this is a game where it tends to go back and forth many a times, but FlipSid seems to not allow that to happen on Kafe.
VG hates Kafe.
They do.
They hate Kafe. They hate Bank. And that's been their history for a long, long time. And now it's coming it's showing right now.
It definitely is.
I mean, you can see VG, they're setting themselves in positions where, like, okay, they're trying to establish an idea, a basic strategy to hold a site. It's just not working for them. Even when they're dealing with no breaching ability on the attacking squad, on defense upstairs.
They're still struggling.
And there's they're opening up a ginormous hole to stop the plant, but they're just losing engagements. And that's it. That's all that's really happening. They're doing the basic strategy. They're going up against the basic strategy with minus breaching power, and they're just losing engagements.
So
a lot of it comes down to the roaming game also when they're on defense in the basement. The roaming game just not making any impact whatsoever. They have like 3 roamers, 2 roamers sometimes.
Yes, Snake was down there. You had
3. You had 3 roamers.
Valkyrie,
There's the Eclipse, the Valkyrie, and there was the Snake. And they're not doing anything. And
yes,
the 2 anchors on site are unable to stop the plant or stop the push straight in through Cigar.
Yeah, for the most part with VG and pretty much any defensive hold, if you can get your roamers to be aggressive and be effective down under, it only takes 2 defenders to really hold that site. You get one in the back of that cocktail lounge to cover the Cigar doorway.
But the stipulation there, and the key word is useful.
Yes, yes.
So
you need to have useful and effective roamers, which King George got taken out, Eclipse got the trade. Snake wasn't useful. He's only there for the final moments when they go in for the push.
Yeah.
So you're still taking yourself out of commission. And it just didn't work out for him.
Yep.
So they're going to go back up top when we get back underway with the game. They're going to go back up top to that top 4 bomb site. And I want to know if they're going to change it up a bit.
Yeah, I want to know too. We'll see exactly how they choose to interpret that particular bomb site defense. It's interesting that they're having 3 roamers and no pulses. Like that's kind of abnormal when it comes to a basement defense, or sorry, an upstairs defense.
Typically, yes, because the entire floor is breachable. So you would want that pulse. So you can throw that C4.
Yeah, pulse is very useful in that situation.
Trying different tactics. That's what we'll chalk it up to.
The Valkyrie also has C4, and it's likely she had a camera in piano, so she could still technically play that. But it's not quite the same. Not quite as a direct. It's an indirect information gather, and you have to. Your positioning is based on your knowledge of the map, and yeah, both these guys do definitely have that. But at the same time, it's still a little bit more of a risk when you're talking about a Valkyrie versus a Pulse. The C4 is maybe more useful in the Pulse.
Agreed. I feel like the Pulse is one of those operators where you can, well, obviously maneuver your information.
Yeah.
With the Valkyrie Cam, you're stuck with whatever the Valkyrie Cam has its field of view, line of sight in.
Yeah.
Pulse can take it wherever he needs to.
Absolutely.
We are still waiting for some players to funnel back in as we do want to get underway with the rest of our rounds here. Again, this is map number 3 in the final game of the North American Pro League playoffs. Both of these teams have already made it to LAN.
Yeah, both of these teams have already. Yeah, I mean, well, VG's been to every single LAN so far. In
well,
Pro
made
League.
it to this LAN. They've guaranteed their spot to this LAN.
Okay, yeah, you were specifying. Yeah, okay, yeah, no. These guys are both going to be going to LAN, for sure, for sure. And it's going to be cool to see how they perform at LAN. Both of these teams, again, we were talking about, there isn't a lot of pressure on them right now. They're likely not using a lot of the tricks that they have up their sleeves on any of these maps they've played today, choosing to instead save them for the LAN event itself. And that makes a lot of sense. Very tactical, very well thought out. And, yeah, I think that's going to work to their advantage. We are getting back into the match.
And here we go. So FlipSide's going to be on attack after 3 successful rounds going in their favor. VG going to try their second defensive hold back up in the bar and cocktail lounge, which was unsuccessful their first time around.
And surprise, surprise, no breaching at all coming out from FlipSide whatsoever. They still have the Thatcher, though. So, I mean, the Thatcher is going to help them get rid of the Jaeger devices, which is going to, by proxy, going to help them get rid of the barbed wire, which is going to help them, by proxy, get into the site. So I kind of understand the lack of a breaching ability here. If you want to go for that full kill, potentially, that's up to you. Or sure, go ahead. It is a weird choice, though. It's like it's just over. Yeah, sure. The meta can change and adapt, and yeah, you're messing around. But at the same time, it is so weird to not have somebody who can open up a reinforced wall. The concept of it, the very concept.
This game is all about destructibility.
All right.
10 seconds left.
But nonetheless, no, VG is going to try to hold down the fort here. We're going to see that Valcam. You talked about it before. Valkyrie having a Valcam inside of
What's
the
up, King George?
piano room.
You having fun?
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Now,
King George is having fun.
we haven't seen it yet.
What's
we
up?
haven't seen. Well, no, we have seen it, but then Snake trolled us.
Oh yeah, the Tachanka?
The Tachanka, the Blitz. We saw the Capcan come out. I was going to say we could see all operators.
Well, we actually
played,
did see. Wait, no, oh, sorry. I was confusing Capcam with Fuse. I was going to say we've seen Fuse, we've seen Glaz. Neither the Russian defenders, though. So close, man. Yet so far.
Now, Zilchi is going to peek on down through into the bar, looking in through, and they won't spot anyone just yet. Adam knows that, hey, I can't really do too much from here.
He's just trying to get rid of the Vizilchi's just trying to get rid of those batteries there to open up the. I don't know why.
Yeah, you were gonna say just maybe that's just in case someone's gonna run across and actually catch it.
Just me as well, huh? Because it's defensive utility.
Point hog.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he droned out the bombs already. Now he's got to shoot the battery. Yeah, but 2 minutes on the clock. FlipSid, they're just establishing themselves, opening up angles, trying to get lines of sight onto the VG lineup. And all they really need to do here is just, well, all the VG, needs to do here is just wait patiently because, again, we talked about this earlier, there's no breach ability at all coming from FlipSid. And as such, VG, they just need to be patient. They just need to be patient, not take any unnecessary peeks, not challenge any unnecessary angles, wait, and they should have this round.
Yep. That's all this stalling meta is at the moment here, especially with the operator selection choice being happening.
Right. So, FlipSid, setting themselves up, they know that there are 2 roamers. There's the Sasnekadaned and there's the Clippity Claps, and they are in a position to counter the push straight into Cigar, but they are playing it a lot more passively than they have in the past. And that is exactly what we want to be seeing from them here. Hopefully that'll work to
trying to go for this pre-fire through the wall onto Eclipse. They have droned him out there, which is actually where King George was previously. But for the moment, all Zilchi is doing is looking for that little cubby toss where smoke is typically staying. Adam's going to peek around and get those pop shots onto Zilchi, but not do too much damage.
King George, the 3rd roamer now, coming down to reinforce the roamer game, but Mint is progressing into the site.
It has gone halfway in already. He's going to go for the plant as Adam has no idea just yet. He's still trying to fight Zilchi over here. Hot and Cold will take down Snake, and then King George and Avian will take down Zilchi. Hot, easy peasy as well. However, the diffuser does get planted in a 4-on-1. Now the last man alive is going to be Pojo Man. He is top side. He does have the potential. C4 Maiko tossed out. He's just getting his drone in spot, waiting for his team to go for it.
He can't
see it. Oh, he can see it, but his head gets destroyed. And we are going to see VG come here and win their first round.
If Avian were where Jaeger is right now, he actually wouldn't have been able to be seen by the Blackbeard. But all the same, the round probably would have gone exactly the way it did. So a nice round by VG to actually win their first round. Yeah, win their first round on Kafe. That was a good job. Good job, dudes. So what happened there was we all saw it. The lack of an anchor allowed FlipSid to just progress into the site, right? But since there was a lack of anchor, there was no defenders picked off as of yet, and because of that, they just kind of collapsed all around the FlipSid attack, coming from every different angle, every different
I'm still trying to figure out how, because they had 3 people downstairs. So there should have been at least 1 person watching the red stairs. 1 piano. You had the I think it was the bandit. He came from piano. There was nobody watching piano. He just came up from piano in the back of Cigar. Started picking apart. Yeah, started picking apart the FlipSid players. And then after that, I mean, it was kind of turned into chaos on the FlipSid attack, and they weren't really sure what angles to be holding. And then it turned into just kind of like a free-for-all engagement with no strategy whatsoever, mass chaos. Now, FlipSid, they are going to be going back upstairs to defend the upstairs bomb site. And we talked about this, they've had good success on this particular bomb site so far. And if they do win again, they will be putting themselves onto match point. Also, if they win this round, match point not only, but also Vertical Gaming, they will be forced to defend Train Room, which we haven't seen from them yet, so maybe they're really good at defending Train Room. But as of this moment, we can only guess. Yeah, now one of the differences that we've seen here with, well, actually, maybe it was there before. Oh, this is a very nice spawn pick here by Easy Peasy, but he's not going to catch anybody. I was going to talk about the shield on the side in Freezer that Mira was using. But yeah. It's one of the ones that some teams will use, some teams won't. For the most part, though, it's new.
No. I mean, well, not really. I mean, I guess new if you consider it like as the Mira meta. So since Mira came out, sure, but maybe new in that regard. But since then, yes, there's that's new, sure, I guess. But yeah, the shield is gonna allow for somebody to actually play the Mira hard for as long as they choose to until it gets destroyed, obviously. So VG establishing themselves on the roof, starting to position themselves in a way where they can take on to the site. And no surprise there. The shock drone is going to go into the freezer in an attempt to get those mirror windows. I can't quite tell if they did, but I doubt it, considering that Zilchi is waiting for it right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it at the moment. Avian will be taking his yokai drone. Or sorry, he's not the yokai drone. That was just the Hibana drone. And moving that over.
Each and every one of the attackers just chilling on the roof, droning out the defenders, trying to figure out what they're going to be dealing with when they go into the site. They're starting their droning with the red stairs side of things, and going into piano. They are conscious of the fact that those two mirrors are in that freezer, and they're going to have to contest with him, as there are Mint and Zilchi both playing in that freezer. Even Pojo, man. There's a lot of players in there. They're going to be progressing their way slowly into the cigar now, looking for options, looking for picks onto the defensive squad.
Yeah, now Avian still here trying to challenge out this. Ooh, looks like
Twitch
he might have
drones.
tapped the shot there, but missed him.
The Twitch drones were successful in opening up the mirrors, and now Zilchi has to rotate out of bathroom into the white hallway.
He's going to go for the peek here, but Avian right behind the couch. He's going to bait him out as Eclipse goes for the headshot. Takes down Zilchi. 5 on 4, 55 seconds to go. The smoke grenades are coming out. That's going to allow King George to move on in as Glaz. Avian still inching his way here inside of the Cigar Lounge. Now, easy peasy will get his head decapitated. And now it's a 3 on 5. Mint still in the back hallway. He gets injured, but he does successfully take down Eclipse. However, Avian and Snake will go and take out Mint and Pojo Man in combination. A 4 on 1 hot and cold. Last man alive. Diffuser looking like it might get planted here momentarily.
You got this, Houghton. You got this. Easy peasy. Oh.
He does not have a C4
nope,
anymore.
Nope. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So with that hot and cold, we'll have to clutch this round in a 1v4, and it does not look like it's a feasible option for him.
Feasible option, yeah. Feasible, no. It's a choice, but I don't think it's going to happen.
It is.
Come on, Houghton. You got
He needs
this.
to pre-fire this, and he does not. And however, we do have some potatoes flying from Snake as he cannot get the headshot in the hot and cold. Adam swoops around to get that final shot on.
It's alright. It's this Adam's just telling Snake. It's alright, dude. I got. Relax. You're good. You're good. We'll just win the round anyway. That's fine. It's fine. You don't have to win. You don't have to hit shots.
So with that, we are having Vertical Gaming coming on back 3-2 at the moment. So now we are going to see that bottom bomb, or that middle floor bomb site, the kitchen.
You heard
the
Adam.
dining.
You heard Adam, guys. You saw nothing. Nothing happened there.
Sounds like something I said before.
Yeah, we're talking about. We've been seeing a lot of potatoes coming out in this matchup right here between FlipSid and Vertical Gaming. It's been fun.
So Fireplace Hall and Mining Room is going to be that next bomb site chosen here by VG.
On FlipSid, they are. I mean, the comeback's starting here for Vertical Gaming, so anything is possible going on to Kafe. They're not. I mean, they haven't been playing it stupendously, but now if they win this round right here, they will be tying it out and setting us up for probably another overtime in all likeliness.
I think so. I mean, I feel like VG can hold down this site. This is one that FlipSid did successfully hold down. And VG was able to kind of see how that failed for them and possibly counter it themselves. But I don't quite know yet.
We'll see what happens,
We'll
dude.
see.
We'll see exactly how these teams try to interpret this defense and this attack going into this round. The drones from FlipSid have pretty much been mostly around the outside and the first floor, not really getting too aggressive with those drones, wanting to save them instead. And that makes a lot of sense. On a map like Kafe, you could very easily predict exactly what's going to be going on. More importantly, moving your drones into the building itself is liable to get them picked off very easily, as again, there are only 2 staircases in this entire map, which leaves not only a lot of options for roamers for rotation, but also for drones in the initial prep phase. We are going to be seeing FlipSid. They're going to be moving their way onto the roof, which is standard for any attack on this particular map for the most part. Maybe sometimes leaving somebody on the balcony. Maybe Glass will stick around for a while. But for the majority of this map, it's, hey, get onto the roof, take control of top floor, move your way down, depending on which bomb site you're attacking.
And so Hot and Cold had spotted out Adam and Eclipse in the back of the cocktail lounge. And so they know that there's at least 2 roamers. They're probably thinking that there's more, which Snake is also up here with them. So with that being said, Adam has taken quite a bit of damage. He's situated inside of that freezer corridor, just waiting for the moment to strike.
If he were not at 3 armor, he would be dead. Lucky him. There are, again, like you said, so many players roaming on the upstairs, and the attacking squad, they're going to have to deal with them full frontal, because that seems like their entire attack strategy is, hey, let's move in through the upstairs. A drone, unfortunately, going down on the side of FlipSid there. One of their own nades. Friendly fire, man down.
From where?
Well, they naded one of their drones as they were spraying barbed wire.
I thought you were saying one of their players
No,
were dead.
no,
I was looking at their health. I was like, I don't think so.
That default cam getting taken out is going to deny a lot of information for VG, and a quick peek
Oh,
from
he's going to miss it now. Hot and Cold's going to snake his way up to Adam as Mint takes out Eclipse. He's going to move on forward now and just finish her off. Now Snake is going to be downstairs. He dropped through the back white stairs, and now top floor is being controlled by FlipSid here.
So everything in favor of FlipSid right now, except for the time. 50 seconds on the clock, and they still have the utility to open up the angles that they need to get rid of these VG players, but it's going to take them a lot of utility to do just that. I mean, Snake Nade's playing in B, and he's not going to get exposed in all likeliness. King George is going to be moving back onto these back stairs. Avian's getting lit up as he's playing the predictable position right next to the mirror.
Now with 35 seconds left to go, it's a 3-on-5. Avian is drastically hurt, but so is Pojo Man. And so it's going to be up to King George and Snake, basically, to keep this alive for VG. Avian's going to tuck himself back into the corner. Green train. He's being droned out by Easy Peasy. Hot and Cold's going to move on forward, but it looks as though the shots from Pojo Man will take down Avian as King George gets the trade onto Hot and Cold. A 2-on-4. King George took a lot of damage in that engagement, though, so it's going to be up to Snake Nade here momentarily. He's going to go and get one shot. He's got 3 left. C4 is going to go blasting out. Will not land as right now, which is the diffuser will get planted in time. Easy Peasy will miss his shots onto Snake as Snake does the same. He's still going for the kill, and right there, Mint takes out King George. Last man alive, going to be inside of the train room, going for a 3-on-1. He's got to get this down. It's a 3-on-1. And he's just crouching his way around. Easy Peasy and Pojo Man both trying to hold down. They're waiting for Snake to make the push. They're waiting for the sound. Easy Peasy's going to stand on up, and he misses it. Pistol's going to come out, and Easy Peasy finally goes for the pistol shot himself, taking down Snake Nade, and we are going to see FlipSid take on round number 6 or 7.
Whatever the case be, that was a nice try by Snake. Unfortunately, I don't think he reloaded his clip before he went for that charge, and he ran out of bullets. Kind of unlucky. You saw nothing. Yeah, guys, apparently, according to the team, both of these teams going into this matchup, you guys haven't seen anything at all. I think that's the 3rd time that we said you saw nothing coming out in the chat. Lots of potatoes, lots of fun. These guys are enjoying themselves.
It's kind of what you can do when you're top of the leaderboard and you've secured your spot.
Established yourself in a position of dominance. And now we're going to be going into a match point in favor of FlipSid. It should be match point. Now they've won 4 rounds. That was the 4th round they just won. Pretty sure about that.
Yep, because it was 3-0. Yep. Vertical Gaming came back to win 2, so it's now 4-2.
Hey, look at that. Magic, guys.
So this is match point, series point for FlipSid Tactics. They are looking to secure that first seed spot into LAN.
I like the way that FlipSid's setting themselves up in this site, opening up that entire red wall. That's pretty nifty. That's pretty nifty. That's going to give them a lot of visibility if somebody tries to do the patented barrage attack, which is to come up red stairs, thermite your... What?
Penta tried it.
A lot of teams actually have tried it, but I think Barrage were the first one in the Pro League itself to make use of it, and it was especially impactful because it was the one round that they managed to win on Kafe, I believe.
No, they ended up winning 2, but that was their first. That was their turnaround spot.
Right. No, you're right. You're right. Good call on that one. So, from VG, and we are seeing a Hibana, a Glaz, an Ash, a Blackbeard, and a Twitch. And nothing surprising there on that lineup, and they're not opting to go for a breach less an attack lineup, so no, they're just going to go for the standard. They are going to be vaulting, rappelling themselves onto the roof. Again, very standard, as we expect to see.
Yeah, one of the things that we have seen so much of is a top-down approach. We do not see much of a bottom-up approach here.
It's like the only real way to handle a Kafe attack. If we're being real, you have to establish dominance over the upstairs, because if you're trying to come up from the basement, I mean, if you're doing a rush strat, it could theoretically work, but for the majority of the time, you're just putting yourself at just a bad position for them. Okay, and the reason behind that is because top floor is cut down the middle so that the roamers can, at any moment, they can go down from a roam, but they can't go back up from a roam. It's not like they can levitate up onto the balcony. And because of that, you need to be able to cut that off as an attacking squad early on in the round to deny as much maneuverability on the defensive squad as possible. And yeah, now that lends its reasoning to like why you have to take upstairs. You can't just simply take from below. Unless you're rushing and you catch them off guard, it's theoretically possible.
And we are going to see Avian. Oh, he's saying Eclipse, let's go to a hot breach. Is that what he's trying to say over here?
I think it's going to be a hot drop. Nope, it's not going to be a hot drop. He puts it on the middle.
I think he was just worried about possible C4 from underneath.
Yeah, it's likely. So, VG, they have established dominance over the top floor, and 3 members from FlipSid are going to be centered around this one doorway. One of them is going to get picked off by Eclipse. Hot and cold, peace out, man.
Now it's a 4-on-5 at the moment. 60 seconds left to go. Eclipse is going to spot out Pojo Man and Minch. He's going to go for the pre-fire there. Gets him down, but is injured himself. He's going to call Pojo Man. Hey, Pojo Man, stand bomb up. But Pojo Man gets Eclipse down in Zilchi with a trade on the Snake. Now looking up from the drop hatch is going to be Adam as he takes off Pojo's head. A 3-on-2 now in what was, I was going to say, going to be a 5-on-2.
Yeah. FlipSid putting it, well, managing to maintain it somewhat. 30 seconds left to go, and they only have 1-man disadvantage, so anything's possible still. But Zilchi in a really interesting position. It's going to be difficult for him to retake onto the side. Easy peasy lemon squeezy going to be left alone for the most part to hold this.
Now King George has spotted him out. He's most likely going to try to go in for the shot there. Just boink, right on top of his head. Gets it on down, and now there's only 1 defender left. This is Zilchi. He's got to get this clutch, though, if he wants to get his team to win.
If he can stop the defuse, then, like, if you just stop the first one,
right now.
no, he's not going to make it. Oh, but Willie, nope. Nope.
Oh, he almost saw the head. He strafed back and forth, and he had to do a double take on that, actually.
That's unfortunate to see there, and now we are going to be seeing 4-3, I believe. VG trying to keep them, maintain their position in this match. But it is still match point. It is going to be match point in favor of FlipSid if they can manage to bring it back.
Yep, so it's 4-3. FlipSid's up. If they win this, they win the round, they win the series, they win the map, and they secure their first seed spot in the LAN event for North America.
Right you are. Now you can see there, Vertical Gaming, they have won a whole butt-ton of rounds on this particular half of the map. 3 rounds already, and it was a pretty substantial comeback from where the deficit that they were facing earlier. And now they are going to be defending upstairs. And they, the first round that they attempted to defend this upstairs bomb site, they didn't have a whole lot of luck. But leading into later rounds, they have been successful here. And yet again, no breaching power coming out from FlipSid. Instead of opting to go with complete kill potential with that Blackbeard, that Glaz, and that Twitch. And well, even that Ash. You know, the only one who's not like a total massacre sort of operator is the Thatcher, really, I guess. And he still lends to the fight a good amount of. I mean, he has a good gun. He's decent. He's decent. He's not a bad fighter. He's just nothing like an Ash or a Glaz or a Blackbeard for that matter, or Twitch.
You just named like half the operators. You just named like half the operators.
What do you?
No, never mind. So.
Yeah, I did. I've named all the operators on the lineup because the Thatcher again is the only one on there who's not like just one operator you would consider somebody you bring to the field to win the engagements, get frags.
Yes. True story. But here we are, round number 8 on the way. 4-3 at the moment. FlipSid's leading, and Pojo Man working his way towards this north window inside of the restaurant first floor. Now Snake is working his way around these half stairs. If he peeks on down, he might be poked off though. Gotta be careful because that is Pojo Man who's nailing down that window.
Snake's gonna be opening up that hole, and what that hole is, you can see through the drop down in Cigar, straight into the Cigar door. And that's what we've talked about earlier, is the door that is the most contested on this particular bomb site. The one that Hot and Cold just glanced at there. And that's just a nice way for the roamers to be able to influence the take in every way that they possibly can. Mint catching Snake Nade off with its drone and calling that out to his team is, I'm pretty sure they're already aware that Snake's roaming with that smoke down in Reading Room, as he's been there every round so far. There's going to be a Valkyrie playing in the Cigar Room, which is something that we don't see a whole lot of.
We have
She
not.
actually
And King
fell
George
back.
actually dropped it and is like, all right, I got droned out. I wasted some time. I killed a drone. Let's move around.
And see, that's what we were talking about earlier, how she just vaulted off the balcony, and suddenly, oh, she's a roamer now. It took about all of 3 seconds. It's one of the fastest ways to become a roamer in this particular map. Oh!
Looks as though Eclipse is going to peek on out, and Dome Mint taking him down.
I honestly thought that was going to go the other way. Good shot by Eclipse.
Now Hut is going to pay careful attention. Last time he was the one to try to engage downstairs instead of Mint.
Yeah,
And
so
I should say that might have been the wrong choice, flipping that around.
the reason that Vertical have lost these defenses on this particular bomb site, and the reason, flip side with a trade back onto Eclipse though, that's gonna even out the man count. But there are only 57 seconds left to go, and all that Vertical really have to worry about is, again, this cigar door with the lack of breaching power at all coming out from flip side. That's the only thing. They don't have to think about anything else.
Now a little pre-fire is going to happen and going to scare King George off a little bit as some bullets go flying his way. King George now going to get off. Hot and Cold actually sees him and calls him inside of the mining room. He's saying, all right, go move in for the push if you can, because we need to get this plant down.
Yeah, and they do certainly need to get the plant down with only 30 seconds on the clock. There's not a lot of time for them to apply this
Now,
pressure.
last time Avian came in through from this flank and piano. Is Hot and Cold going to be ready for it? He is going to try, but Avian going to come around and just dome him, decapitate him. 4 on 2, 4 on 3 at the moment, 15 seconds. Glaz going to take him down. He's got to move in, and Pojo Man is going to rush, but coming around, Snake Nade is going to have to smoke grenades to try to stop this plan from going on. Adam will pick off Zilji. Last man alive is going to be easy peasy. He's inside of red. It will not get planted in time, and we're going to have Vertical Gaming taking this round. We're now going into overtime as it's 4-4.
And we are going to have a rehost because the coin toss will have to go down in order to determine which teams defend which, who's defending and who is attacking going into the overtime. Because normally in the game, when you don't actually rehost the map, the game automatically decides randomly who defends and who attacks. And we don't have that option right now because we had to rehost earlier. So we're going to have a coin toss and we'll find out just who is doing what.
True. Now, seeing as how it was 4-2 or originally 3-0, Vertical Gaming came back. Do you think they can keep that momentum going forward into this overtime?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Nobody. I mean, this is. I mean, you say keep the momentum. This is a total momentum break. We're doing a rehost, so
Yes.
anything could happen coming back into the rehost. What we've been seeing from both these teams on the upstairs defense is a lot of it does come down to the roamer game, especially for Vertical Gaming. If the roamers are successful in any manner whatsoever, I mean, Eclipse getting that nice pick onto the Twitch. More often than not, they'll win those rounds, and we saw that happen just now. But if the case be that Vertical Gaming on an upstairs defense, they lose all those roamers without them having influenced the round whatsoever, then we often have FlipSide take the round in their favor. And FlipSide, they're playing it really interestingly going into that cigar attack. They're opting to not hunt down the roamers per se. They were doing it earlier, but for now, they've just been kind of playing it safer, I guess, pushing into the site. And
It seems to be a little bit more conservative from what we saw previously.
yeah, safer is not the right word. Conservative is the right word. And they haven't been getting as aggressive onto those roamers, trying to take them out and force out the round in their favor. And I feel like that's been working to their detriment. But who knows exactly what the cause be. I also, when it comes to the flip side of defense, it's kind of a similar take, but at the same time, it's I don't know, it's different because when you look at the Vertical side, they are bringing breaching power, and also they have been pretty successful in getting those mirror windows open in the freezer.
They have.
So
the Twitch drones played a vital role in doing that. So to me, what I like seeing about we constantly talk about Mirror because she's one of the newest ops that actually is played in the Pro League and brings a lot of versatility and utility.
And at the same time, she's not like stupid, ridiculously.
Yeah,
like,
she's very well balanced for barely being.
Really hit the nail on the head with that one.
She hasn't really been touched at all, right? She hasn't had any weapon or balance changes.
I don't think so. No, but she doesn't need one, and that's really it's so satisfying that she just came into the game and was fit into the meta perfectly and influenced it in a good way that everyone's happy about.
Yeah, but with that, I like how it has brought Twitch back into the meta as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The most useful thing you can do with a Twitch drone, hands down, is to destroy a mirror window, because there's not many other ways to really destroy those mirror windows other than seeing the back end of them.
Yep.
So, you know, Twitch drones for cameras, that's great. Twitch drones for a couple damage on 2 players, that's great. But windows, oh, that's fantastic. We're getting back into the match, guys. We get to see the end of this match. Going into the overtime, it is 4-4 as it stands, and we'll be seeing who makes it to 6 rounds first. FlipSide will be on defense first, Vertical Gaming on offense. So they're going to be defending Fireplace and Mining Room?
Yes, they've decided to defend Fireplace's mining room.
That is weird. So, hi guys, how's it going? So the game is going on right now, but you can't see it. So don't know what's going on there. But they are defending FlipSid. I'll narrate for you. FlipSid, they are defending the train room, starting out right now. And they're going to be choosing to go here first. Now, this is really interesting. A lot of teams would consider this to be the weaker of the two sites, but FlipSid having confidence might be. So they're trying to influence the operator selection coming out from Vertical Gaming. But that doesn't really stand to reason because Vertical Gaming have been bringing, for the most part, the same operators going to both of these bomb sites. I think that with the exception of maybe a Buck.
Yeah, I think that Buck could play a vital role here, and we do not see that coming out from Vertical Gaming.
I mean, it's obvious that Vertical Gaming expected FlipSid to be defending upstairs first. That makes so much more sense. But Vertical Game or FlipSid, they're opting to go for that mix-up like we talked about earlier.
And with that, we are going to get underway with the action phase, the first round of the overtime. We're going to see Snake Nade, Avian, and King George starting out by the Christmas tree spawn, working their way over. Again, they're going to be going up to the top floor, up to the roof, and clearing from the top down.
Are you sure? Are you psychic? Did you talk to these guys about their strats?
I mean, Mint's playing downstairs.
Yeah, I mean, this mid playing downstairs is actually going to be an interesting position for him. He's going to be able, and hot and cold as well. They're going to be able to retake if it and this is, you know, we talked earlier about a full 5-man retake strategy where on this particular bomb site where you don't play anyone on the bomb site. You simply go for, let the attackers enter into the bomb site, plant the diffuser, and then collapse as that happens. And it might be that FlipSid is going for sort of a pseudo version of that, having those two players in the basement to give them as much versatility and maneuverability as possible. Because in reality, you can't really hold the upstairs against the attacking squad more often than not. You're going to lose that engagement. So FlipSid opting to default it to the attackers in this instance.
So Easy Peasy is going to be the only defender on site. Everyone else, like we mentioned before, is off site, going for a retake strategy. And as I actually say that, Zilchi has come back onto the site here.
Yeah, 2 players in B.
Leaving mining room all open, but again, they've opened up the red wall, the red stairs wall, so they can come back and easily see that from underneath.
And they have a hot and cold who's playing on the basement in the bakery right now. Avian with the first pick onto Zilchi on the white stairs. That's a good pick to start out the round. But yeah, they have hot and cold who's playing in near the red stairs, who's going to be able to come back and influence a wheel room take if that's what's going to be happening. And he is putting himself in a position to do that just now. Unfortunately for him, doesn't look like the attacking squad is putting themselves in a position to do that particular take. It looks like they're setting up for B right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if Adam is off the roof. I was going to say Adam was previously looking right down here at where Hot and Cold is going to come up, but he's already on the white stairs, looking to try to get the shots on a Pojo man, and he does, but then is instantly traded back by Mint here. Looking to get another kill there. He will down and finish off Avian. If he can finish off the shots, looks like he's going to skedaddle away, and that is going to be a missed opportunity. And Mint, though, will take down the clips coming in from Reading Room. So now Mint's going to try to come back up here and get Avian, but no, because that failed attempt to re-get her after she was finished off failed, he will get picked up, and it's going to be a 2-on-3 in what otherwise would have been a 2-on-2 or possibly a 3-2 flipped around.
20 seconds only for the attackers, though, and they have to get that diffuser plant. All that FlipSid really needs to do is keep their last 2 players alive, as the only option for the attacking squad is going to go down this train drop.
Now they are in a good position. It looks like they're going to head over to Fireplace and go for this plant. And that's Hot and Cold will pick off the headshot. They're on a Snake Nade. And Mint will also get one. Last man alive is going to be Avian. He's going to come on over, and it's actually going to be the end of it. FlipSid takes round number 1 in this overtime.
Straight up, a retake strategy coming out between Hot and Cold and Mint there. To both of those 3-speed operators putting themselves in a position to rush onto the site in the last few seconds of the round. And they did just that. There wasn't a whole lot that VG could have done there. They did their best to, like, they could cover the plant, but at the same time, you're dealing with a disadvantageous position. Holding those sites are very difficult, and that's why a lot of people opt to go for the retakes.
So what happened right there, we saw it at the very end. Snake Nade was covering the flank, looking right at Jaeger. I believe that was Hot and Cold.
He just lost the engagement.
Well, he didn't see him at the last second. He turned his line of sight, and the border, the real estate of the actual holographic scope, took up the space of the bottom of the red stairs.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me, too. It's unfortunate that that happened to him, but it is what it is. And now the first round of this overtime will go to FlipSid. You're looking at one more round on their track record here, and they're going to be bringing it to a 2-1 victory in their favor in this series. And then they'll be getting first seed at LAN.
So it looks as though Mint...
He got a 4K in that round.
He did.
That's a very good job, Mint.
Now we are going to see VG take that top floor bomb site where they were unsuccessful their first attempt, but successful their second.
Yeah, it's been a difficult, it's been a back and forth battle in this upstairs defense for VG. Again, it mostly for them, specifically on this upstairs defense, it mostly comes down to whether or not the roamers actually influence the round. If it comes down to the roamers just getting picked off, which has happened many times, the anchors are unable to hold by themselves. But if it comes to being that the roamers are influencing the round, like by delaying time, getting at least 1 kill on the board, then again, oftentimes it goes in VG's favor.
Okay, George, trying to think of where do I want to put...
Put it on the chandelier.
Oh, he's actually finished off his Valkyrie cam. So
Oh, he's just chilling. He's just chilling out.
He's just really upset at that monitor.
Yeah, screw that monitor.
So Zilchi very cautious of someone possibly trying to pop out of bakery. That's merely just a ploy. That's not going to be any kind of tactic that FlipSid or vertically
It is a
tries to
tactic.
use.
It wasted 20 seconds just now.
Not going to be any kind of jump out tactic.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. There's no aggression coming from him. Snake Nade and Eclipse setting themselves up on this drop down to the roof to hopefully get a kill, but unfortunately for them, there will be a Habana used, and they will not be able to get any sort of take out of that particular drop down. They're going to run back now into their default positions.
Now they have brought the breacher, but used it for a soft hatch.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, FlipSid.
They droned out the pulse and so on and so forth, but still, just unique to see. Now Zilchi's still at the top skylight. Another successful opening of a mirror window.
Yeah, this has happened a lot.
It has.
For both of these teams, the Twitch has been very useful in opening up those mirrors.
Now both windows have been opened up, hot and cold. Still working their way over here. Now he's got to be cautious of actually destroying the 3 drones that have fallen down to the top of red stairs.
Drones ready.
The drone game is real right now as King George is going to get spotted out by Easy Peasy. Now this is kind of where you want to figure out, do we have to go underneath or are we just going to push in and move our way into the piano room? Hanko's going to wait for the push, and he actually gets that headshot on the King George as he strafes around, realizing that he can't stay behind the minibar. However, Avian is here right on the side of the couch waiting for someone to move over. Mint's got diffuser in hand. It looks as though we're going to see Thatcher. That's Easy Peasy moving forward. Zilchi's going to take down Adam, and Avian gets 1 kill and then is instantly traded off by Espez Lemsquez. A 4-on-2 at the moment. Eclipse and Snake, last 2 alive. This is looking like it's going to be a FlipSid round. We could see the end of this being 6-4.
Bomb located by attacker.
It looks as though Mint's going to work his way down yellow hallway, or by white hallway, and Eclipse taking out Zilchi. He's going to go in for the plant here, and Eclipse will not see it in time. So diffuser will get planted, and we're going to have Snake Nade trying to make his way into Freezer, but Pojoman is going to try to prevent that as he's here right inside. Mint will be taken out by Eclipse. He's going to come around from the bar. Eclipse might get on over to it, but he doesn't know exactly where that diffuser is. So Pojoman in a very good position. However, that heartbeat sensor is not in the hands of Eclipse just yet. There it is. He's going to spot one inside a cigar. Snake will take down Easy Peasy. Last minute alive is going to be Pojo. He gets one, but he doesn't instead. And Snake Day just cannot find the diffuser in time.
No, it'll get diffused.
There
that was
it
an
does.
excellent clutch coming out from Snake Nade and Eclipse, a 2 versus, I believe, 4
Yes, it was.
to lock, well, to keep themselves in this match. Now we are looking at another round of overtime. Whomever wins this particular round will be taking the series overall. And it is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please,
We're going to see top floor.
Eclipse on, or sorry, a VG on attack, FlipSid on defense, and they will be going, as you said, top floor, because they won that train room.
Yes, they did. And so with that, this is going to go to the 11th round in the overtime. This is the final round of the final match of the final series here in the North American League Pro League playoff.
Final.
Yes, everything. This is the last of the last of the last.
It's all ogre now until we get to LAN, and then
Or
that's that.
Thursday for EU, however you want to
Well,
see it.
I mean, EU's EU, though.
The last time we'll see these teams play
Yeah.
is today until 3 weeks from now.
It's going to be fun. I can't wait to meet everybody else at LAN again. The best part about the LAN events is getting to meet everybody and, you know, shake hands and say hi and all that nonsense, and I'm sure these guys are looking forward to it. They both guaranteed LAN, as we talked about earlier. Neither of these teams, even if they lose, both of them are going to be going to LAN, so it's fine. You know, they're all good. They're chill with each other. They're friends. You know, they're scrim partners. It's cool. 5-5, as you said earlier. defense from FlipSide, offense from Vertical. Nothing changing really too much on either of these lineups. It's going to be a pretty cut and dry attack here coming out for both of these squads. Attack, defense, all the same. Both of these guys are doing pretty much the same setup. FlipSide, they've had a decent go of defending this upstairs bomb site. Same with Vertical. I mean, I think they're about even when it comes to the score on the upstairs bomb site, but we'll see exactly what the score is at the end. So, I mean, it's still anyone's game, to be real.
That it is, and on the attack side from Vertical Gaming, we are going to see Avian choosing that Hibana, which he has chosen many times over. King George still going to be on the glass, which...
He's been doing well with the glass.
He has.
Been putting in a lot of work for his team.
Now they are going to work their way up to the roof yet again. This is kind of the safest spot. A lot of times people will try to rappel on the west side, facing the Christmas tree. And many a times that's where people jump out, they'll go for a peek, or you expose yourself to the piano windows, whatever it may be. Going where they're going up, it seems to be the safest spot.
Going to the roof is the most, yeah, it's the, not just the safest, but the most common place for sure. As you can see, all 5 of the attackers are on the roof right now. Just chilling, droning out positions, waiting to start their push in through red stairs drop, and then the piano room. They are going to have to contest, though, with the mirror windows. And that all comes down to whether or not the Twitch manages to open them successfully. One Twitch drone at least has been destroyed so far. The shield will get destroyed. And the second Twitch drone coming in from Eclipse. This is, oh, he will get the mirror open, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to actually lend a lot of pressure to the attack as they move their way in through the piano. But he only managed to get 1 mirror with both of his drones.
However, they do know that there's a reinforcement between the two, so it's not going to be played like a double mirror typically is done.
Still going to have to test with the one, though. Whoever's playing in bathroom, which is Pojoman in this instance, will have a lot of pressure put on him to hold that piano if it comes to be that VG choose to challenge that. There is still a hot and cold underneath who will be looking to get that C4 as the attackers progress into piano.
Yes, so Hot's waiting for the perfect opportunity too. He's not quite sure when he wants to, although he sees everyone here. It's looking like a good opportunity, but again, they're constantly going to be moving. Oh, he tosses it up over there. He goes for it, and he gets the kill there on a King George, taking out the glass. Eclipse will fall to Zilch, or sorry, Zilchi will fall to Eclipse, though. Eclipse will go for a second kill through the open mirror window as Easy Peasy will go down for the count. He's going to take a little bit of damage from the Hibana charges to his side. Mint, though, will have to prone and get away from the opening. Now, right inside of that bathroom is going to be Pojoman. He will fall to Adam. It looks like VG might have this in the bag. A 3-on-2. Coming into Freezer, but the pre-fire will not get the kill. Mint and Hot and Cold, the last 2 alive. Hot still coming up from the red stairs. Mint's on back white stairs, and now they're both trying to collapse in forward. Avian will fall. This is actually looking like it could go either way. 10 seconds left. Diffuser has dropped, and this might just be a Vertical Gaming win here. FlipSide going to take on 1. It's 1-1. Adam versus Hot and Cold, and it's going to be Hot and Cold with a double clutch at the very end to get the win for FlipSide Tactics. That's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. FlipSide has secured their first spot in the North American Pro League.
That last round was insanity. Both of those teams coming out with some fantastic frags. VG putting themselves in a great position. Eclipse getting those picks that he needed. But then in the end, the FlipSide roster just slugging it out and returning it back into their favor and winning the round in the end.
This is
it's chaos.
This is the first time FlipSide has ever gotten first in the North